I'm Chris. I'm a Cancer. I do like long walks on the beach, and I'm more of a little spoon than a big spoon, if I'm honest. But also I bowl for the Taniwha team, whichever one wants me. Usually none, but
we always want you.
I try my best.
I mean, you did break my finger and tear all the ligaments in my thumb. Thanks for that.
Yeah, that's all right. You shouldn't have. I
should have
actually tried to pull out when I told you to keep going.
To be fair, you were bowling slower than you normally do, so I was a bit closer than I should have been. And then you decided to ramp it up halfway through and over, and I'm like, oh my God, it's coming down a lot faster. And I just threw my hands at it and then landed on the tip of my finger and just tore the ligaments. And it's 4 months later, and it's still in pain. I've got to get an ultrasound on it. Thankfully, ACC doesn't charge anything for hand therapy. It's great.
Yeah, but that was the end of the season, mate. What about the rest of the season?
No, that was back in February. That was back in February, but on the 4th of February.
Yeah, but what about the rest of the season before that? What was your excuse then?
Oh, yeah. Matt was keeping, so no excuse. I did get that caught behind, I think a couple of balls later.
Yeah.
With a buggered finger, can't complain about that, can you?
No, I'm pretty sure Matt dropped me as well.
Yeah. Oh, you did it?
He did.
Let's not talk about that one. I dropped a couple, actually. I think I dropped Steve in the week after. Steve and... Oh, no, it was just that one. But it kind of came up at me. It's just... I just heavy-handed the glove. And it just went straight, kind of straight up and over behind me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Whoops, sorry, bro. And as a wicketkeeper, you feel so bad for the bowler because they get the wicket, not you. So I shouldn't feel bad, but I feel bad for them. So so you kind of rock and a hard place sort of situation there. Yeah. You carry on with your intro, so I'll cut you off.
I thought I was done. Yeah, I thought.
Okay.
Explain myself there.
Cool. So I'm captain of our third div team. If he's ready to play, I'm ready to put him on the field. Our premier fast bowler, the whole blazing 190,000 kilometres an hour seamer. I'm a video producer. I don't do podcasts at all, so my audio knowledge is absolutely disgusting. So sorry if the audio is crap. I've got the gear, but don't know how to use it, sort of thing. Hopefully the video is a lot better, because that is my field of work. Self-confessed cricket tragic. Yeah. So TaniwhaTV, this channel was started by Dan Squire, one of our other captains. So we've got two teams. We've got a second div team and a third div team. Dan and myself co-captain while we started the third div team. And then he stepped back into the second div team, and then I became sole captain and enlisted Matt Lambert to vice captaincy. So it was started by Dan, and it was initially just would record every game, chuck it up on YouTube for the guys to watch. But then I came along, hassled Dan enough for him to let me onto the channel and let loose with a bit of content like this Between Two Taniwha podcast, or vodcast, because it's obviously video. I'm not sure if I'm going to extract the audio yet. So big shout out to Dan Squire. He's our executive producer, I'd say. Yeah. I'm just creative guy, producer, creative director. So we've got some pretty good content on there. Go check it all out. If you love cricket, you'll love the videos, I guess.
Mainly images of Dan, I thought. But
a lot of it's just highlight reels of Dan getting hundreds.
Yeah.
And just
not 100, 99s, 98s.
Yeah, last season, I think got about... I think he died on the 90s and for about 8 times.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I can remember.
Yeah, he got a 99. He got bowled on 99 this season. Top of off stump. Sorry, Dan. But he did get 3 centuries this season, which is pretty incredible. Both third div and second div. So it just proves that no matter who he's facing, he can smash them. So on tonight's show, I'll pass you over to Vaughnie. He will go over sort of what's happening on tonight's show.
All right. Well, tonight we are here to discuss the not so recent Pakistan series. because we're coming to a World Cup year and we need to discuss who's shit and who's good. We've got to look at the IPL performances because half our team is already over there. We of course need to discuss World Cup 11 because we need to know who we're going to send over to India. And we've got a few lead up tours. We've got a tour of the UAE coming in end of August, middle to end of August.
Yep.
And then we've got the tour of England mainly in September.
The World Cup.
Yeah, and then maybe some other things dotted in. Maybe talk about that Major League Cricket. Quite interesting. 2.5 weeks to do the whole competition.
Yeah, it's a bit excessive, to be fair. Like, I'm
no.
not a fan of it. I mean, it's good going to get them on a roll.
Yeah,
But 2.5 weeks, it's kind of
6 teams,
flash in the pan.
same as New Zealand.
Flash in the pan.
I think that's what you need, really. There's so many.
Yeah, I suppose in the IPLs, you play about 1,000 games a season, stretched over about 100,000 weeks. So I suppose 2.5 weeks is probably a bit of a good thing, to be fair.
When you think about a Super Smash, it's maybe 12 games played over 12 weeks.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's kind of extended out so you're not too overwhelmed with cricket.
Exactly.
I mean, as a tragic, you're never overwhelmed with cricket, unless you're Dan. It's a bit over it, to be honest.
Yeah. And, of course, we need to discuss the next World Test Championship cycle now that the final's coming up.
Yeah. Who's your pick to win the Test final?
Oh, I mean, it's going to quite easily be Australia.
Absolutely. Yeah, my pick's on Australia by hands down.
Can't play in England and not be Australia.
True.
And then...
India's... Because it is India, right?
It is India, yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'll be a bit worried if I
know that. They're down Bumrah, so that's their premier bowler in those sorts of conditions.
That's right. Yeah, Bumrah's dangerous in England. It's in England, right?
Yeah,
it is.
Lots for the next few years.
Cool. Sweet. Home and Test cricket.
And then... we also might want to discuss what's going on with Jofra Archer and potentially how England is going to be able to pay for him to play for England.
Yeah, it's interesting. You got big money Indians with some Saudi oil money. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So whether he's done his time. He's injured. He's got no future guaranteed in England cricket. Mumbai Indians have given him a guarantee. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I'd personally take it. He's played for England.
Yeah, I mean,
He's hit his dash.
He got in. Quite interesting because England pretty much changed the rules to get him into that 2019 World Cup team. He wins it. What's the point in keeping on playing really for England?
Oh, that's right. He's done what he needs to do.
Yeah,
to be fair. Yeah, cool. So we've got a few things happening on TaniwhaTV over the next month or so. We've got the pre-season diary, so it's just a sit-down interview with each of the players. They'll be uploaded periodically, so we're not sure our upload schedule there. Just depends on how much we get how much content we get on and who and when over that time frame. Probably doing some vlogs at trainings, just been dicks like we are.
Yeah.
Bunch of fun dicks though. But if you've got any ideas that you want to put to us to create some content, hit me up on the comments below. And we'll do that. We'll see what we can do for you. Before we get into the show, last year's Taniwha-thon was a fundraiser for the Swan Nest. We initially had 5,000 balls to bowl over 24 hours, and our initial target was $5,000.
Yeah.
For those 5,000 balls. We'd smash that. So we started at 10 o'clock in the morning. I think we started at 10.
I don't know.
Yeah, we started at 10 a.m. and would smash that target by 9 p.m. So we thought, why give up? Let's go for 10,000 balls, $10,000. We pretty much smashed that too.
I mean, I came in late because that's just how I roll.
Yeah.
How did you get to that 5,000?
Oh, yeah, you were there?
Yeah, I did turn up.
Maybe one night.
Maybe like 8 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all absolute buggered because we were batting and bowling.
Oh yeah, I had to wait till all your weakest, then I suddenly
and then you come in with your 100
bounce, yeah,
that's right, and your 125k bounces, like, bro, come on, mate.
And then it kept going on.
It did.
Yeah,
I left at 3 a.m. to go home and have a bath because I could barely move. So I think I went home for about an hour, had a bath, went straight back and carried on. Yeah.
I think I went upstairs and sat down at about 3 o'clock and just had a cry.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, I think I was so close. God, I don't know how to put it into words, but I was just so buggered. I nearly fell asleep in the bath, and I was like slapping myself in the face to keep me awake.
It's a weird way to bath, mate.
some sort of kink, I suppose. But yeah, no, not for me. Cricket's my king, so I was going to slap myself to keep going. Need that cricket. But yeah, we've got one. We're going to be doing it again this year. We haven't discussed details whether we're going to do the same thing or not. But yeah, it's definitely coming up, and we'll be supporting Swan Nest again for that. We're going to be continue hopefully a long partnership with them. As their charity is something quite close to us and quite so it resonates with us a lot.
What I remember, it's kids with learning disabilities or terminal illnesses.
Yeah,
helps them with helps them and their families with therapy.
Yeah. So the money we raised for the last Taniwha-thon, they managed to hire a full-time. Pretty sure, it might have been part-time, a music therapist for the kids, and that's something incredible. So
for a whole year.
Yeah, for a whole year. Like I said, I think it was obviously came in maybe 1 or 2 days a week, but
so I guess that's why we have to do it yearly.
Totally.
Yeah,
and hopefully we can raise more money, and with a bit more exposure as well, we can raise more money so they can get more things for these kids. Like these kids have gone through a lot. Cool. Right, so let's get on with the show. I'll pass it over to you to talk about our Pakistan series. Before we do that, I'm going to have a drink.
It's time for a Type LT moment here. Yeah, we do a sponsorship here. With, what is it? What brand? What brand?
Water. By Wellington Water.
Turn the label. I can't see it.
No, not have brands on you, Joe.
Well, I can at least say it.
Well, it's Kiwi Blue, but it's just water because I had the sparkling water, and now I filled it up with water because I'm poor-hearted and don't want to buy a water bottle when I've got one right here. It's recycling.
Yeah, it's a BPA. BPAs, mate.
Repurpose, mate.
It's cancer right there.
Yeah, but I'm repurposing it, so you can't just have single use. You can't catch me on that one, mate. I'm an environmentalist now. I repurpose.
Yeah.
Or should I drink too much of that at once? Oh, that was a bad idea.
That fresh water.
Oh, very fresh. Thank you, Wellington Water.
Ukrainian water.
Yeah, might get some bodily growth if I drink Ukrainian water. Some radioactive stuff in that, I think. Oh, is that Russian water?
That potato-based water.
All right.
Yeah.
Our sponsors for tonight are...
well, I mean, I can't say it, but it's the noise that goes off over Ukraine daily, energy drink. We've also got Kentucky Fried Chicken. They sponsor Dan, who sponsors us, so I guess they're paying for this as well.
Fair enough, yep.
We've also got Dan's Pool Boys cleaning company. He's
Cheers, Ego.
He's helping out.
Yeah.
He's the guest next week, isn't he?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
He's just an absolute treasure like me, mate.
Exactly.
I might need to book an extra couple of hours because we'd probably talk a lot longer than we could.
But anyway, can't list off all the sponsors. It's a bit rude to all the other podcasts, how many sponsors we have and they don't.
Yeah, we're just so good. Code Sports, Porirua Club, North City Cricket. I'm personally sponsored by Taz Cricket. Dan was, but he's a bit of a trader and went back to Kookaburra. So see you, Bolt. Taz Cricket, thank you. Yeah. I need a new bat, by the way, but I'll hit you up later. Right, so
keep going.
No, you good. Right, let's get on with the show.
So, Pakistan series.
Yes.
How boring was that?
Mind-numbingly.
Did you stay up and watch it?
Yep. Oh, I fell asleep for 2 games. I stayed up and watched the rained off game, and I was absolutely devastated because I had nothing on the next day. Yeah. So I could stay up guilt-free. And yeah, it rained. So I was a bit gutted about that, to be fair. And we were on for, we were flying.
Yeah.
And that was probably the game we would have made a big statement.
Yep.
But yeah, and then it rained. Fun times.
Yeah. So I watched a couple, mainly the ones where we looked all right, thanks to mainly Daryl Mitchell.
Oh, mate. Daz ball. You heard it here first. Daz ball.
Then you watch the bowling lineup come in and fuck it all up.
Yeah.
That's not all bad. Not all bad. We can't all blame Blair Tickner.
You can.
We can. We got the stats.
Yeah.
Out of the 2 games he did play, he did get 1 wicket every 1 and a bit games.
Well, better than me, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 2 wickets over my whole career, and played about 44 games with Taniwha. I've only got 2 wickets. So pretty shit strike rate, to be fair, for bowling. So I'm no Blair Tickner, but he's in the Blackcaps, I'm not.
Yeah, well, maybe better coffee.
Well, yeah, he's a barista, right? He owns a cafe in Napier, is that correct?
Look, out of the games, there was some positives there. You look at Will Young, he went back to opening after dropping down, after being at the top.
Dumb idea to drop him down.
I just think it's a dumb idea for New Zealand to keep swapping people around all the time. Hey.
Yep.
Anyway, he's back at the top. He 5 games, 240 runs, average of 48, strike rate of 95.
Respectable.
Pretty good. One of the best amongst the run getters.
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't a fast hitting. Unless you know Rizwan and Tucker's arm, and they went absolutely nuts.
Yeah, but you look at the quality of bowling attacks that each team faced.
Exactly.
Outside of Matt Henry,
that was it.
Adam Milne, he did pretty well.
Oh yeah, he bowled well. To be fair, he had a couple of.
Yeah, it always happens, and
yeah, but he's no Trent Bolt.
For a lot of fast bowlers, you do need that backup at the other end to help get you those wickets.
I wouldn't know my fastest ball is slower than Ishodi spin. My fastest seam ball. Yeah. So I wouldn't know. So I think I'd bowl. I bowl seam at about 50k an hour.
Yeah. So he did well opening. I certainly don't understand what all the hate is with him. He certainly needs to be in that team. There's other people need to be dropped. We'll get to them later.
Yep.
Daryl Mitchell.
Oh, mate.
Perfect replacement for Williamson.
Mate, he's Player of the Year. ICC Player of the Year for a reason.
Yeah.
We're renaming, when he plays, we'll rename every game to Dazball.
Yeah.
None of this Bears shit. He's a traitor. See you later. Dazball's where it's at, mate.
What? You're saying you wouldn't go Captain England if you could? Coach?
Yeah, but I'll still be traitor.
Yeah, he's been pretty amazing. In any role he's had, the last couple of years, he's jumped into it and he's performed in it.
He's had the odd game where he struggled to find his feet, and saying those games were hard conditions, like Indian tour.
Yeah,
I think he didn't get any score over 20.
The rest of the team struggled.
Exactly. Comparison to the team at the time and the rest of the batsmen, he has actually outperformed a lot of the top order.
Yeah.
The top order is actually, to be fair, being pretty crap.
Yeah.
They didn't perform as good as the middle order, which is raises some questions.
In fairness, that's been New Zealand for I don't know how long. Really.
Well, that's true. That's true, to be fair.
Yeah.
Devon Conway.
Devon Conway's been a find. Once again, though, I have issues with how they've been treating him.
Oh, totally. They haven't been playing right.
They brought him in as an opener. He performed.
Yeah.
Did well.
And
then Ross Taylor retires, and suddenly it's like, you don't before.
Oh, yeah.
Will Young's opening. It's like, well, hold on. Will Young normally bats 4 for CD around that area. And Devon Conway proved he could open and was good at it.
Yeah.
So why do you need to chop them around?
Yeah, I don't know either. I think, there's a few questions around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one of the biggest, I don't know, what would you call it? One of the biggest gripes with me is the selection, whoever they are, the selection panel. It's like they don't know, or they can't communicate with each other. So it's like, one of them wants them opening. Gary might want him opening. Kane wants him at 4 or something.
Yeah, well,
Who's running the ship here?
for me, from what I gather, I remember when I was younger, there was a lot of talk about the selectors. They only really could get to the games in Auckland and Northern Districts because the budget isn't there. The budget's not really there for New Zealand cricket for them to keep going around the country watching every single game. So they could go watch Auckland and Northern District home games.
Yep.
See the players there, and outside of that, you've only got the footage if there is any.
Yeah, I mean, but that's one of the problems there is. I mean, you don't see Ian Foster in that. I mean, you always see him at the games, the crucial games.
I'd prefer to see less of Ian Foster, though.
Me too, yeah, to be fair. But you see him at games.
Yeah.
You see his coaches at games.
Yeah.
We need to be doing that.
Mm.
You can't judge someone just on watching them on TV because you can't see what they're doing in the field. You can't see what they're doing when they're not on screen, in the non-strikers. And you can't see a lot of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they do need to just have selectors around the country.
Mm.
Have a selector from each region. Well, this is my pitch, and pitch it to the selection committee. Why are they basing their selections on two teams?
Yeah.
It seems a bit crazy to me, to be fair.
Hopefully, I forgot his name. Who's
Kevin Larson?
Yeah, he's
gone?
Well, I don't know yet. I think he's still involved. I think he might be leaving at the end of the World Cup.
I thought he'd actually left. I thought he'd
announced it. I thought he was still. I thought myself he was still sort of selecting up until then.
Yeah,
like he'd select the World Cup team and that'd be his last go.
I thought he was fully out, to be fair.
I don't know. They have announced replacements. So.
True. I mean, we're such an educated podcast, eh?
Yeah.
Like we're a podcast. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is the pilot episode.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So,
pilot's gonna know what's going on though. You got to know what you're doing if you're flying a plane.
Testing the waters.
Crash your plane and test the water.
Yeah, see if they actually want to keep listening.
Yeah, let's just test our safety mechanisms and crash the plane and see how it goes.
Yeah,
what's the worst that could happen?
We could be picked up by Disney Plus.
Pardon me?
We could be picked up by Disney Plus.
TaniwhaTV is where it's at, man. Unless they do a TaniwhaTV documentary.
I mean, they picked up Nat Geo and all that sort of stuff. Great selection.
ESPN would be good. Bit of some Sky Sports.
So Daryl Mitchell, back to him. He did well. 297 runs in 4 games, averaging 74, strike rate of 97.
Oh, so good. Yeah. It's sitting around the 95 to 95 plus in strike rate for ODI, and is that over the ODI and T20?
That's just the ODI.
ODIs. That's solid.
I wasn't really interested in T20s because, like I said, we are coming up to a World Cup here.
Yeah, fair enough.
We're already fucked out of the World Cup T20s, so what do we give a shit about?
Yeah, wouldn't say we're the best T20 team around. ODI, on the other hand, at least got a chance. Some sort of chance if we sort of get our shit together in time.
New Zealand's always been that team of, shit, they played well today.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Test Championship. If we had to play that over 3 games, we would have got our asses spanked in the last 2.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams at the end of it, once we beat them, they sort of what was Beefy's words when they lost to Pakistan and
I don't even know.
I think it was something about we were the better team.
We were.
No,
Pakistan.
England, Pakistan.
Oh, yeah.
Even to this day, he was like, we were the better team. We should have won that.
But I mean, India were the better team at the World Test Championship. We beat them. Funny that. It's cricket. I mean, you'd say T20 is usually a coin toss. I mean, all cricket's a coin toss. If you perform on the day or over the 5 days.
I don't want to say it about T20 because we play it, but T20 is just down to which team has that one player that fires, really.
Oh, to be fair, the T20 standard is it's a bowler's game now. Like a lot of them will say the bowler's going to they'll get tonged, but it comes down to the bowler. If the bowler's good and they're on,
I don't watch much the IPL, but from what I've seen, it's very much been huge scores, which I'm not too sure if it's India maybe lulling us into a false sense of security, maybe thinking, we can bring our shit batters along who can't play spin.
Yeah, fair. I mean, Devon Conway is just an absolute freak. I mean, he's got about 5 scores under 50. He's got 5 50s this season.
Yeah.
and he's, I mean, it's decent strike rate too. 137 strike rate in the IPL.
Yep, 625 runs.
There you go,
Averaging 50.
There you go. Like that. It's not just the Indians. We're our South African Kiwi.
Yeah.
Cheers South Africa for a crap academy program. Love it. Keep sending them. Send us the greats: Neil Wagner, BJ Watling, and the list goes on.
Can't forget Harry Javelin.
Oh, mate. Oh, yeah, I was yarning with him a couple of weeks ago, actually. Saw him at an event, had a yarn. When two cricket traders get together, you just can't stop. I mean, we were yarning for so long. He needed to go. People waiting for him. He didn't care. He was awesome. Love the guy. Absolutely got so much time for him. And he's got time for everyone else, thankfully. Where are we at?
I mean, if we're done talking about Harry Javelin and your love for him,
Mate. Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the captain, Tom Latham.
Yeah.
Mr. Consistent.
Yep, absolutely. He's absolute anchor. The anchor man. Start calling him Ron Burgundy, but we've already secured that name for one of our guys.
Don't think I really want him at 4 like he was playing, but he did all right.
I'd have him
282 runs, an average of 56.
Yeah, it's decent.
Striking at 89.
But the thing is, you got to realise those stats were from when the rest of the team collapsed, and he was there bringing us home, or at least setting the standard.
Yeah.
Our top order collapsed. Tom Latham scored 80.
Oh.
And that's how crucial he's one of the. He filled the boots of Kane Williamson, essentially. Kane Williamson's that guy. If the team collapses, he's in there. He's, hungers down bend down the hatches. He's filled that role immensely for us. I
mean, he's good at turning over the strike, which is something that Williamson does.
Yeah,
but
he scores.
I still think it falls a bit too high for him. I would really like to see Glenn Phillips in that position.
I'd love to see Glenn Phillips in the ODI squad as well. Just wait for that noise. Don't know what they're up to. I suppose it doesn't matter. Ambient noise is great.
Yeah.
I love to see Glenn Phillips on the side. ODI side anyway. I mean, he's kind of overlooked a lot, I've noticed lately. He's a very, very good player in all 3 formats. I've watched him in some of the Plunket Shield, and he's just performed well. He's solid. He's not an overperformer, but he doesn't underperform. And that is quite crucial for a test player, especially for New Zealand. We're very medial when it comes to playing test matches.
Yeah. Why
ain't he in there? Going back to ODIs, why ain't he there as well? He's a huge hitter. We've got Jimmy Neesham. What's he done? No disrespect to him, but he's kind of fallen apart lately, to be fair. His bowling's not up to what it was.
I don't know. You look at his South Africa T20 series, he was bowling pretty well. He was keeping it down. He was getting crucial wickets. And
how long ago was that, though?
Huh?
How long ago was that, though?
I mean, just before the Pakistan series.
Oh, what one? South Africa?
South Africa T20. He went to that. That's why he gave up his contract.
Wait. What South African T20?
Do you not know that South Africa plays T20?
No, but did we play them?
No. He played in the South Africa's T20 league.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Franchise cricket.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like... Blackcaps didn't play South Africa. What's going on here?
No, just Jimmy Neesham went over.
Yeah, but this thing, though, it's not international cricket.
Yeah,
international cricket's a step up.
Yeah.
And you can perform. I mean, contradict exactly everything I said about Glenn Phillips performing in Plunket Shield. But he proved that he wasn't good enough on the Pakistan tour.
I mean, I didn't write down the stats. I'd agree he didn't perform as well as he could have. I wouldn't say he underperformed based on the opportunities he got. A lot of that time he came in at the end, which is fair enough. That's why we had him in there in the team. He's there to come in right at the end and hit.
Yeah.
But you coming in saying Glenn Phillips and that Finn Allen as well. Hit and miss situations.
Yeah.
Come out and swing. That's it. It is a coin toss.
It's like me. I mean, I'm a hitter. I'm not a player. I know it's hard coming in, and I've done it before in our team. I come in later on in the game, 2 overs to go.
Yeah,
my strike rate's like 40. I open the batting and my strike rate's 180. You know, you got to give some sort of leniency to those stats, I guess. But you know, professional cricketers, I'm just some fat guy from Porirua who smashes the ball around.
It's professional cricketers both sides. You know, you can't just say, oh, he's a professional cricketer, he should be hitting everyone first ball.
No,
it's professional bowlers. It's, you know, that's
exactly.
Pakistan.
But he shouldn't be performing as bad as he was.
Pakistan, their bowlers are top notch. You know?
Oh, totally, man. Shaheen Afridi, I would not want to face him.
No.
I mean, I struggle facing our fastest bowler. Well, you're our fastest bowler in our squad now. In our club. I mean, God, what are you bowling? 130?
I don't know.
If that, maybe 130. I think it's pretty quick, man.
I'd be lucky.
On a good day, man, like the bruises on my body say so. So you're bowling around that. You hit me in the stomach and I had a big bruise on my stomach for about a month. It was just yellow the whole time. I was like, bro, my organs were hurting, man.
You're welcome.
Mm.
But yeah,
you've destroyed my body, to be fair.
I have.
You have.
But you enjoyed every moment of it.
I sure did, mate. Sure do. Keeping batting, I can't get away from it. Just, born to destroy me. Let's go. Destroyer.
Look, you know, I still think, based on the situations he came in, like he wasn't coming in midway. He was coming in at the end, you know, the last couple of overs, and
it is tough.
You are going out there and pretty much you're told to swing.
Yep.
And at that stage, you know, your eye's not in
exactly.
top quality bowling position. It is, if you're lucky, 50-50.
And filthy spinners too, usually.
Yeah.
Who at that level are somewhat unplayable when you're just trying to swing. You need to work them in.
Yeah.
So tough job. But yeah, I would have liked to see maybe some variance in that role as pinch hitter.
Yep.
Not just Jimmy Neesham.
Yep.
No, we can't rely on just Jimmy Neesham. I mean, we've got guys in domestic that need a chance.
I mean,
he showed he's a great pitcher.
Me personally, based on what I've seen from Finn Allen, that could be a spot for him potentially in this ODI team.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to wonder with Finn Allen though, like, is he good off the fastball or is he good off the spin? Because he can't play spin. He's like me. I can't play spin to save myself.
You watched that T20 semi-final. He couldn't play Shaheen Afridi moving it a little bit at his legs.
True. Yeah, well, I mean, they worked him out.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the trouble. That's the same issue that Cole Jamieson's had.
Well, yeah, he was fine until they worked him out.
Once they've worked him out, he hasn't learned to adapt.
That's it. And he can't, and he couldn't.
And this is going to be the big thing for Finn Allen. Is he going to be able to adapt and change his game?
I think he actually did, to be fair, with the home series against Sri Lanka. Wait, who did we play the
Sri Lanka?
He was at the ODIs against Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
I mean, he did change quite a bit. And you notice his game, he didn't swing at everything. He played cricket shots.
Yep.
And to me, it's like incredible to be able to change your game because, man, I'm trying to play cricket shots at the moment and it's just, mate, come on, this game's a bit dumb.
Yeah.
I just want to swing. So, I mean, for him to do that, and he got consistent scores throughout that series and the one before that.
I wouldn't say blowing the roof off scores either.
Yeah, but I mean, there's this huge step up, and if you're consistent enough to get 30s.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, it was sort of like
get the odd 70.
He swapped it back. He went from I'm going to swing at every ball to I'm now afraid to swing at every ball because
true. He kind of held back and needs to be let loose.
That's right, you know, and it's a name that everybody hates at the moment, but Martin Guptill.
Oh, I love the guy. I
feel like
he's been ripped off.
He was ripped off. I mean, he's not at the best of his game. You know, he got 100 in that Pakistan franchise cricket, but the rest of it wasn't that great. But I'd still,
because he hasn't had cricket. He hasn't had much cricket.
Yeah,
to not play much cricket and then go out and score 100. Yeah, the other performances might not have been great. To be able to do that is...
He played the BBL before that, the whole season of BBL before that, and he didn't score much either.
I need to research it. I'm such a great podcast host, you know. I just don't research anything.
But I feel, as ripped off as he will be, I feel like that's something that Martin Guptill should be brought back into the squad to help him with.
Oh, totally. Like he could...
Martin Guptill at his prime could do that.
Yep.
You know, batting opposite Brendan McCullum,
Oh, mate, that was
BMAC
something special.
goes for it. Gapdal would just wait back
That's it.
and he'd build his innings and then he would go.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, that's an opener. You need that in opening partnership. You need to be able to work together. Like, I reckon that was our best. I mean, what, Baz was 3-1 though.
Huh?
Wouldn't Baz come in at 3?
No, he's open.
He was opening at 3.
Odo Cripper, he'd open with Gapdal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what we need in an opening partnership. 2 guys that are big hitters, but also know how to play cricket.
And that's the thing. Like, you know, that's what I feel like we have with Devon Conway, Will Young as an opening pair.
Oh, mate, honestly, you can't go past that.
Both of them can either go for it,
Yep,
and both of them know how to work it.
Yep, I agree totally. That's my opening partnership by far, and I'd have Latham come in at 4, maybe 5, because an ODI, if the top order collapse, he's there in the middle to hold the innings. He's an anchor.
Now you see, I'm sort of, and I feel like we missed this in a couple of games. I can't remember which ones exactly, but we need a more fluid middle order.
Yep, totally. It's changed too much.
We need coaching staff to assess the game and just change that middle order up. There was times where, you know, we needed a hitter and out comes Latham.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when Williamson was in the squad. We needed a hitter, and they bring out Williamson. It's like, dude, the guy takes 100 balls to get his iron. And after that, he can hit. But by then, his strike rate's at 20.
Oh, I mean, you
know what I mean? Like,
harsh.
Well, yeah, I'm harsh on Kane Williamson.
He could
He's no Mitchell Stanton.
He could rotate it. Williamson can rotate the strike.
Yep.
And he works into it. He's what I'd like as number 3.
Yeah.
Someone who can come in and just work it around. Because, like I said, with Conway Young opening, either one of them can work themselves and switch themselves up to being the hitter.
Yeah, you got to have a different dynamic shift, I suppose. You got to. I mean, we do it in our team. You know, me and Matt opening the batting. I'm the hitter. He can hit, but he can also play cricket.
Yeah.
And then we've got the solid Riso at 3. He's an anchor. You know, like we have that same sort of concept of their dynamic partnerships.
Yeah.
It works. So, I mean, the Blackcaps need to follow that too. So you're right with the Latham coming in at 3, but I would have probably more put Mitchell in at 3.
Oh, yeah. That's where he'll be.
I agree.
Unless through some form of witch doctor voodoo, Williamson's ACL comes right for the World Cup.
Well, I mean, why suck in a hole or broke his leg and managed to play in the World Cup a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I based on what Stead's been saying, I don't think we're going to get a World Cup team actually announced until Williamson calls time and says, I'm not going to be able to make it.
I think that's... The Canterbury Mafia is just something different, aren't they? Canterbury cricketing mafias, but they, I feel they worry about themselves in the nation.
I mean, that's their job, you know.
No.
You've got to look out for your future prospects.
Well, they're not. They're looking out for the past prospects.
I mean, I don't think we're getting on the same page. I think they're more worried about making sure they have a future after they get dumped by NZ Cricket.
But that's the problem. They're worried about that. I see what you mean. Fuck, you're talking about never mind. With the problem with that is they're not worried about the nation. They're not worried about what's happening now and the players that are coming through. I mean, a lot of Auckland players, a lot of Canterbury players. I mean, the odd few here and there of the other guys, but the outstanding performers are getting overlooked because these old guys want to still play.
Yeah, but I mean,
need some more Martin Guptill mentality and just drop them.
You use the term outstanding players. I mean, I look at a lot of the names I had to pick for this tour of the UAE. Tom Bruce, Dane Cleaver, Ravindra,
the best.
Josh Clarkson, Henry Shipley, Colin McKee, Chad Bowes. Chad Bowes has had some goes.
I feel
at the job.
Yeah, he's settling in. He's slowly settled in. In Pakistan conditions for a batsman who's never played overseas. Well, he's played New Zealand A Tour over in India, but
he played the Sri Lanka games here, and it's like he didn't really knock the socks off in his home conditions.
I mean, he did that. He got that. Did he get that 50 something?
Like in the last game, maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, he slowly, and then he got whipped over to Pakistan. I think he needs a bit more consistency, and they've done the right thing with him. But the problem is they're not doing it with everyone else.
I feel like they're only forced to do it because the players aren't there anymore.
Well, that's true. We didn't have Conway, we didn't have Allen, we didn't have a lot of the guys because they're all on IPL duty.
Yeah.
But it's still good to see those guys come through. I mean, one of the most unfortunate prospects in the country is Dane Cleaver. One of our best keeper batsmen behind McCullum, Watling, Conway, behind all the typical guys at the top. He's just as good as them. He just hasn't had a chance. I mean, the guys are stalwart of Canterbury, Central Districts cricket.
Yep.
Cousin of Kane Williamson too, I hear.
Yep.
So, like, you'd think he'd get a bit of all good come in, but he's kind of been pushed away, which I don't know what's going on internally. It could be something going on internally. But I think he's had a pretty unfair...
That's a general hate for Central Districts, really. They've had quality players for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Bruce, for example.
Yep.
I mean,
Tom Bruce, Josh Clarkson.
Yeah, Josh Clarkson.
Young.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Fought to get into that squad.
Then he moved to Auckland and got them.
No, he's still CD.
I thought he went to Auckland for a bit. Okay, there you go.
No, that was George Wicker.
Oh, yeah.
He was another one.
That's right. And then
he kept struggling to get in. He got a couple of games and didn't really show him what his true talent was in those games. And then he moved to Auckland.
That's it.
Our hopes probably to get more of a chance to shine.
I mean, he'd done the right thing. And I totally would too. If I was being overlooked because I wasn't in a team where I did get that exposure, I'd move too. A lot of people do it. Rugby, cricket, all the sports. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, like the thing that I struggle to see is that a lot of this future talent isn't up to international level at all.
No,
I would say.
But the thing is, though, they've got no experience either. Limited experience in international cricket. I mean, there's only so much international level you're going to face in domestic cricket.
Domestic cricket should be basically you're facing people who are almost there.
Yeah.
That should be the thing. Domestic cricket should be a bunch of almost there's competing to say, I'm the most almost there.
But the problem with New Zealand domestic cricket, unless it's a super smash, you don't have that.
I mean, what do you mean by that?
Well, the one day, the Ford Trophy.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys that are at the top, like Stephen Conway and that, they don't really play on it because they're off over franchise cricket.
But I'd argue the Super Smash is the same, really.
Well, no, they do play on that.
I don't really see many outside of...
because they had...
Outside of the ones who don't make it into the test teams. And
true, because we had that test through at the time, so most of the guys were out. I mean, we're overseas touring.
Even when they're not, they usually rest them.
True, good point. Yeah, so I mean, that I think is a big downfall for New Zealand domestic cricket. They don't get the opportunity to play the bigger guys. I mean, look, take rugby for example. The Super Rugby. I mean, the Hurricanes are playing international guys every week. Also, all the Super Rugby teams playing international guys every week.
Well, not from what I read in the news.
I haven't been following it this season, to be fair. I've been sort of...
I was just more talking about the last game against the Chiefs, where apparently all the All Blacks got sidelined.
Oh, no way. See, I haven't been following up with any rugby stuff.
That's the old rest and rotation policies. So,
gosh.
They decide to...
Didn't work, 16 years ago?
I mean, everyone's playing it. England was doing it for a while and all that. And that's why they were crap.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. Cheers, Ian Foster.
I mean...
we love you, but yeah.
I get it. But there's a point where it's like your top level athletes
need game time.
Yeah.
And the ones coming up need to play against those guys to get game time and to get that experience against international level players.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the biggest downfalls, as I've said many times now. And it needs to be addressed. I mean, there are other downfalls as well that are in the media, but no one's talked about that yet. You don't see people talking about that. Why aren't our players good enough? Well, that's why.
Well, I mean, I certainly see it on Facebook and that,
I'm not on Facebook, so I wouldn't know.
You are.
I am now. I was off Facebook for a bit.
Did you want to put out the next sponsor of our podcast here? What business are you running?
Modi Digital Media and Productions. Yes, I'm creative director there.
Yeah.
So we do this sort of stuff. I'm usually behind the camera, so hence why I'm so garbage in front of it. So yeah, I thought I'd give it a go in front of the camera for once, only because I couldn't rope anyone else into doing it. It'd be a bit weird just having you on front of the camera.
It would. Pretty weird looking guy.
And every like production needs that Mark Richardson, and I'll put my hand up for that anytime.
To pull out with cramp.
No, just to be an absolute dick. Everyone needs a dick in their podcast or video or production.
Yeah.
Everyone,
That's certainly how they put it.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway, getting back to the Pakistan series.
Yep.
Bowling wise, as we discussed before, Matt Henry, Adam Milne were the only performers.
Yeah, I mean,
which is not hard to believe considering that the other bowlers were the likes of Ishsodi, Blair Tickner.
Yeah, Shipley was on and off. He was very hit and miss.
I mean, that's sort of been how he was in New Zealand as well.
Yeah, I mean, he got that 5 for.
Yeah,
but I think that was because they hadn't worked him out. They haven't. There's not enough.
I think the Eden Park pitch sort of played a bit of a helping hand as well.
As well, but I mean, like, he's still new. He's kind of the Cole Jamieson sort of effect, superstar, because you're good until you get worked out.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to see him back. Well, even in the World Cup, it'd be good to see him, and not the bigger games, but maybe in some of the round robin games.
I don't know.
It'd be good to see how he performs there and if he's worked out or not.
The thing is, you're limited to 15 players, and I don't think.
Yeah, good point.
We have
and if we get Trent Bolt,
the wiggle room to go, we'll bring in some guys who we just want to expose to the environment.
Yeah, this is a good point.
Based on how our team's been playing, we need players that are actually backups.
Yeah.
To the non-performing players.
Yeah.
Because...
And hopefully if we get Trent Bolton and Tim Southey, I mean, I wouldn't even play Tim Southey in the 11.
No, neither would I.
But he's that backup to the bowlers.
In India, I do believe we need someone with a bit of pace. Someone that's, the surprise pace factor, Lockie Ferguson, Adam Milne.
I'd have Adam Milne over Lockie Ferguson.
You want them to be the bowling spot.
Yeah, I mean, how's Lockie Ferguson going in the IPL? If he's going.
Yeah, he's there.
He's there. But like, I mean, you got to...
But you look at it, you need that pace factor, you need that surprise factor, because chances are you are going to get a dead pitch at some point. You're going to get a pitch that's not going to help with swing movement or really seam movement. You need something to surprise the batsman a bit from the fast bowling end.
To be fair with dead pitches, I mean, Trent Bolt, he proved, I think it was Trent Bolt, Tim Southey, one of them, they proved that there was a dead pitch, even the spinners weren't getting anything. And they came in and they just turned the game around.
That's Neil Wagner, mate.
No, this was... I mean, that's just Neil Wagner in general. I think this was last year, end of last year, I think, before Trent Bolt left.
Yeah.
And they were both... it was a test game. I think it might have been actually Pakistan that over the... we initially went to Pakistan back in summer. Middle of our summer. It's just a strange test.
Yeah.
Very, very strange way to do it. Middle of our summer, they kind of
that's what happens when you have a security threat.
Oh yeah, I mean security threat. They didn't bitch out at all, did they? Yeah. So I mean, like, you're right. We do need that X factor where it comes to a dead pitch. We need someone that can change the game on a dead pitch.
And to me, after that, Trent Bolt out of Tim Southey and Trent Bolt's the next best.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And out of what I'd say, I'd probably be less likely to have swing movement, more likely to have seam movement over in India.
Yeah, I'd say seam.
Matt Henry beats
Tim
Southey again.
Oh, Matt Henry is definitely going to be in there.
And then
I'd actually have Matt Henry over Tim Southey.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And then once it comes down to it, I can't justify in any team more than 3 seam bowlers over in India.
In a squad or in a team?
And an opening 11. And a squad, more because you need that backup.
Yeah, I'd have that third seamer, either Milne or Ferguson, depending on who's sort of performing at the time, or who's showing a bit more promise at the time in the trainings. I'd have that quick, and then have probably Bolt and Henry as your seam bowlers, your medium seam bowlers.
Yeah.
Because they can variation. They put variations on their ball and change a game just from 1 or 2 bowls.
To be fair to Southey, that's where he is good. He is good with his cutters.
Yeah, but he cutters.
I feel like
he's got one good ball.
Yeah, but I mean, a cutter can work pretty well.
Once or twice.
Yeah, but he's pretty crafty when he wants to be. With putting him in,
Yeah.
For a guy who's not quick, like Jimmy Anderson.
He's got this grafter, mate.
Yeah, but there are times when he shows how smart he is, how good of a bowler he is, and why he's been good for so long, and why he will probably beat Richard Hadley to
totally
some tests.
Yeah, I mean longevity as well was certainly beating Richard Hadley.
Oh yeah,
I mean if Richard Hadley played a lot longer, played the same amount of time, he would definitely be a lot better.
Yeah.
So I mean it's hard comparison there, to be fair.
Oh, it always isn't. I'd always say Richard Hadley is been New Zealand's best bowler.
Yeah, totally. I mean, at a time when New Zealand couldn't even they couldn't even catch a cold in a cricket ball. Richard Hadley was a standout bowler, leader, all of the above.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I do think Tim Southey is good. I just don't think in India he is the frontline bowler.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, Matt Henry hits a rough patch.
Yeah, I mean that's what you do. Per game, you're going to weigh it up on the game on the pitch. If the conditions are going to suit Southey over Henry, you play Southey. You kind of interchange those two, but definitely Bolt and Milne or Ferguson.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
What next, Mr. Host Man?
Oh, I mean, we do have to talk about the underperformers. Young, Mitchell, Latham, Henry, Milne, all did well.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't mention Henry, 8 wickets, 30 average, economy of 5.68.
Decent.
Very good.
Very decent.
Milne, 3 games, 5 wickets, average of 30, economy of 5.56.
Good economies. Obviously, the strike rates are going to be a lot higher because the wickets weren't there.
Oh, I mean,
it was tough to get those batsmen out. They were good.
The cars would probably have a better time driving on the wicket than the roads.
Yeah.
But
what is India?
It was
probably Pakistan. I mean, they always produce a road.
Don't start a hate crime.
That's the thing. It's Pakistan produce roads as cricket pitches. The batsmen are always going to be favoured. So to have a bowler perform with an economy like that,
got to keep Papa Azam in those high scores.
Yeah, and
he must beat Kohli in everything.
Yeah, I mean, the road's going to favour the batsman.
Yep.
But to have an economy of 5 is really, really incredible, to be fair. And I mean, you've seen them when the Pakistan batsmen just went absolute nuts.
Yep.
And they still managed to keep a decent economy.
Yep.
Like I'm saying, the strike rate's not going to be there because there's not enough wickets on offer in terms of pitch. The pitch isn't doing much, but they're still keeping the strike rate, the economy down, which absolutely incredible. Yeah. Like I love tangents for no reason.
Yeah. Anyway, the underperformers, there's 35 games, 4 wickets, 74 average, and an economy of 5.98. The sort of redeeming factor, but I mean, for a spinner going to run a ball, and still technically subcontinent area, you'd still think he had to have some sort of an effect.
Yeah, I mean that's I've never rated
he's our attacking spinner is usually what people call him to justify his.
I don't agree with that.
Very hit or miss bowling tactics.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an attacking batsman and I get out under 10 score most of the time. Yeah, I'm just shit. There's no, you can't sugarcoat shit. It's still shit.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing I don't like is that we have bowling coaches, batting coaches, and all that at these high levels. These guys are professionals.
We've got Deepak Patel as our national spin bowling coach.
Anyway,
I think that explains it. That reaction just explains it right there.
I mean, you look at you got Shane Jurgensen. Ever since he's taken over from Shane Bond,
No one can be Bond.
Trent Bolton, Tim Southey suddenly forgot how to swing a ball.
I wouldn't say they've got how to control the swing of the ball.
I don't even think I've seen them really swing it outside of Trent Bolton in the IPL games.
True.
He's gotten some movement. He's looked very threatening.
Yeah, different balls.
Most first over wickets for a bowler this season.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, I think the development of New Zealand cricket needs to be raised a lot, to be fair.
I think really we need to get Jacinda in to run into cricket.
Please no, should run the economy into the ground. I mean, you what?
I mean, if we're not going to get political here, but anyway.
No, thank God for it.
We need some socialism, as you boomers would put it, and
communism. Yep.
I mean, wait till your banks fail, and suddenly socialism is involved. Anyway,
Anyway, let's cut that out of the way.
We need some socialism in NZ cricket.
Yeah.
For looking at the greater good of the Blackcaps as a team.
Yeah.
It sort of seems a bit sort of disjointed.
Oh, it's hugely disjointed.
And I want our team to have the most Blackcaps players. And it's competition where it should be, let's produce the best possible New Zealand team we can out of all the teams. Like you're always going to have people who are better than others.
Oh, totally.
In different regions.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to have players, because for a while there, all the Blackcaps are pretty much northern districts. And it's sort of like to have all of them.
Or Canterbury. Because the coach is from there.
Yeah. Anyway, to have them all be from northern districts, like at one point, we had Williamson, Bolt, Southey, Sodhi was there at the time, Watling, Santner. You had more than
Santner's like the legend though, so
he is.
No matter where he's from, he's in the team.
You had Neil Wagner moved there now. You had so many
Otago for a bit.
So many players just congregating to one area.
Yeah,
that's like that doesn't help NZ cricket.
That's right, and it comes back to that whole domestic thing as well.
Especially when they're not there, because then suddenly you have this massive drain.
Yep,
that has to suddenly be filled by players who don't get any game time at all at that level.
Yeah,
as well as the fact these other teams don't have Blackcaps players in the squad teaching and helping, and
Yep, totally agree with you. And there is it's a rift in New Zealand cricket, and the media's actually brought that up a lot. I don't usually follow media, but I listen to SNZ a lot. Shout out to SNZ, best sports radio station on the radio since Radio Sport. So
picking up as a
horrible
sponsor.
death. Yeah, if you want to sponsor us, SNZ, please. We love you. If you want to have us on your show, give me a call. Leave a comment and I'll reply back to you. I mean, it's quite well known that that's the problem. It's like New Zealand rugby. They've got a rift in there as well. It's the old man club. Like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. But you're right, we need to have a coverage of good, developed players. Yeah.
I think it also comes down to, I've discussed it with, like my brother and people who, follow the sport. We struggle with spin.
Oh, totally. We've never been good at spin.
All our players struggle with spin.
Yeah. Because we haven't got any decent... our decent spinners haven't been used properly.
I think the issue is that we don't have any spinning wickets.
We do.
Where?
Tauranga was a good example. We've got spinning wickets, the base reserve. That test match?
Yeah.
No, serious. The spin was the crucial... spin won that game for us.
I wouldn't call them spinning wickets. I'd call them...
But they're better than...
wickets that have a bit more grip for the spinners, but they weren't wickets where you develop and learn to play spinning as an art form.
Yeah, but we'll never get to that.
But you can. You can if you have an agreement that, hey, we'll produce less of this, trying to bounce seamy wickets everywhere.
Oh, totally. I mean,
because
we're doing a variation of a wicket.
With, the Blair Tickners.
Well, every New Zealand seamer. New Zealand seamer.
That's the issue. They've all come in and they've all gone,
swinging green top, greatest bowlers in the world, Bowler short, bounces.
Because that's how they get wickets
Totally.
in domestic.
Yep.
Because that's the pitches they've got.
That's right.
You look at your Mitchell Santner and that, Dan Vittori, they were spin bowlers who didn't turn it a mile because that's not what they're going to get in New Zealand.
That's right.
They had to learn
how to be crafty with variation.
Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's all we've got. And if you don't have a cricketing brain to do that, you're never going to really be good as a spinner. And really, if you're not getting the results young and that, especially, a lot of our pitches are artificial for young kids.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at us. We only play on artificial.
Yeah.
We played 2 games this season on grass.
Yeah, and I missed both of them. But
thank God for that. My hands would have not liked it. Probably would have broke the other hand, who knows.
But as humans, and especially young kids, you need that positive feedback. And if you're not getting the pitches from any sort of age group to give you that positive feedback, you're not going to keep going with the craft.
Totally. Yep. I totally agree. And another problem with New Zealand is that we're so academy focused. And if it's unorthodox, not unorthodox spin, but like if your style is different from how it should be in the book, it gets trained out of you. With India, if you're different from the rest of them, they throw that in front of everyone and be like, go for it. That's why they have incredible spinners in the Asian continent, because they're not afraid to let the different various styles show through. I mean, you see some of the wacky bowling styles in the IPL. See, over here, that gets taught out of you.
Yeah.
Because it's not how cricket's meant to be played. It's stupid. We need to be encouraging these kids to utilize what they've got naturally. I mean, I tried to bowl spin after my back surgery because I wasn't allowed to bowl seam. I'm not naturally a spinner. I mean, I can turn a leg spin and off spin, but it was never consistent. But as soon as I went back to seam bowling, it was just consistent every time. Yeah, it's an unorthodox style. My arm's halfway out here as I'm bowling. It's not straight up and over.
Yeah,
I can get it straight up and over and a little bit more consistent.
You just need
but I lose my
blue pill. Actually, need to get it straight up and over.
Yeah, need a bit of that blue pill. Might struggle running down the wicket though. Might be a bit weird. But I think having trained pre-season with my arm out here, I've managed to get the straightness a lot more consistent.
You do.
I mean,
adapt to your style.
I've adapted to my style. But I try to change that, that's when it all goes out the window, and I'm trying to force something that's not.
Yeah.
It's like my batting. I'm trying to learn a defensive shot. I mean, I can play them, but I don't like playing them. But it proved in a game. I mean, I started playing defensive shots, and they were going straight past me. Couldn't even hit them. As soon as Matt said from the other end, just swing. Because, I was opening the batting, and the key was for just to set the innings. And I just started swinging, and the balls are flying. Because I was hitting them. Why change something that's natural? India have got it now. They don't. We do. And I think that's another problem with the development of New Zealand cricket. Let's change this podcast to the problems of New Zealand cricket.
I mean, that's pretty much every podcast, isn't it? But yeah, that's where I think we go wrong with the spinner side of New Zealand. Yep. And even, like I said, with Blair Tickner and that. Maybe with a bit of coaching, I could see him replacing Wagner in a test side, because they both bowl similar.
Yeah, very.
That was the big issue with that test series versus England. Like you had Neil Wagner, Blair Tickner.
Yeah, too many of the same. Google. They're all the same bowlers.
The same,
exactly.
Same short ball at them.
Yeah, and that is, I just didn't get it.
No. Yeah, especially the New England. Yeah,
mate, you can't. They
love balls they can hit.
Yep, and they are balls they can hit eventually. I mean, but the thing is, if you got Matt Henry or Tim Southey at one end working you down, working you around, and then you got Neil Wagner coming in from the other end, just abusing the shit out of you with a cricket ball, you're gonna crumble.
That's
But when you've got Neil Wagner's coming with you, at the same length every time, you work them out. You get into a rhythm and you just smack them, and they did.
The thing for Wagner is that he's slowed down a bit as well.
Oh, yes, but he's developed a bit of swing too lately.
Yeah, I mean, he was working on that for a while now.
But that's what's kept him in the
He
side.
didn't use it,
No.
That's what we needed, really. We needed more sort of, I guess, traditional sort of attacking test bowling, and what we got was 3 bowlers trying to play it's a dead wicket defensive bowling of yesteryear.
Yeah.
England and baseball have changed up what I reckon will be the future of Test cricket.
It totally is. Yeah.
That T20 mentality is, for better or worse, is sort of infecting all of cricket, and that's where it's going.
I think in the wider scheme of things, we've got to embrace that sort of stuff. You're going to get the old farts and the ones that purists. I mean, I'm a test purist. I love watching Kane Williams sit there and block 1,000 balls because it's an absolute masterclass. But not everyone's going to have a masterclass where it's just truly incredible to watch. People are going to play shit cricket. I'd rather see them go out swinging.
I don't mind the plain shots, but I think the issue is that we're going because of how the fan of cricket is at this time. We're heading towards, we're going to dumb down the pitches. We're going to make
them roads.
Yeah,
and that is detrimental to the game. But I think what's good for the game in terms of the baseball style is it's interesting and it's exciting.
It's good, isn't it? I mean, like, from what I've seen, it was in England. Those pitches were roads. Last time we went. Pakistan, roads again.
Yeah.
New Zealand, roads again.
Well, see, the green top, they're not really roads. I'd say they're more swinging lawns.
New Zealand pitches, for as long as I can remember now, we have
pristine
movement, day one, road for the next 4 days.
Yeah. Fair call. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Like, they don't degrade, they just lose the green top, and that's it.
I mean, that's when you play on such a premature wicket. If we lost that green top and then started playing on it after like 2 days of wear and then started the test match, it will degrade enough to have a bowling game. But you're right, it's, it's not suited for that.
Yeah.
Let's discuss some World Cup squads because I'm itching at the bit.
We haven't gotten through to Henry Nicholls yet.
Oh, do we need to?
Of course, he's
one good game.
He's the star
Everyone was
player.
his best. He was what?
Henry Stead Nicholls. He's played.
God, the Canterbury Mafia.
He played 4 games, got 50 runs, average of 12.5, strike rate 81.97, and with those numbers, he's a World Cup favourite.
Which is really, really frustrating. Yeah, very frustrating as a fan.
It is.
Because he gets these amazing, he has this amazing runs, or an amazing run of good games, and then he's shit for about 2 years. But we still keep him because he's
I've got a different view of it, which is he has an amazing run of good games. If you're wondering, if we do get rid of the video, it's air quotes there.
Yeah.
But anyway, good games where he gets runs off the back of other people in the team getting runs, and he has zero pressure to do so.
And that's exactly right. There's that 200, Williamson was on 200 something. Yeah. Williamson was taking control of that innings. All he needed to do was rotate the strike, and he was getting the runs.
The thing is that
the bowling attack had already died.
Like, Sri Lanka cricket must have been playing the long game here, because chucking in a guy who looks like he never had wicket-keeping gloves in his life.
Oh, no, that was like, what the heck?
To drop the most sitterest of sitters.
Yeah, and all his... Yeah.
And that's how he gets on to get it. Because if he'd been caught...
Oh, yeah.
Like, even Stead would have struggled
I would have caught that.
Struggled to let him
totally
keep playing with the scores he was getting. But because he got that double ton, That's like, oh, well, we can't drop him now. He got a double ton.
Which I find as a fan extremely frustrating.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, with Henry Nichols, very frustrating because we know he's not good enough, but then he does something like that.
Yeah.
It's the no pressure 200.
Yeah.
And gets caught off a dumb drive down long on, or long off, sorry. Deep extra cover, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what
I don't know my positions.
Neither. I'm a captain, I should know them. That's why I let Matt do fielding. The problem there is you're going to have guys like Henry Nichols keep being pushed even though they're having shit runs. No, oh, he's good enough. Let's keep him in. And that's going to be another detriment to New Zealand cricket. When you've got in the background, you've got Mark Chapman, you've got Dane Cleaver, who, I mean, yeah, fair, Dane Cleaver hasn't had a solid run, but when he did, he performed, man. And he's good with it. He's got, mate, he's another good wicketkeeper as a backup. When these guys are missing out because of some false sense of security that Henry Nichols is good.
Yep.
I mean, no disrespect to the guy. He's very, very good at what he does, but he's not good enough to be up there with the rest of them. Consistently.
He can be, but I think he needs to be pushed back into domestic.
Yeah.
To earn it again.
Oh, totally.
And I think that's what, for a long time, that's the issue with New Zealand cricket. We refuse to push Blackcaps who weren't performing back into domestic to say, earn your spot again.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, and I mean, because we haven't created a competitive environment, these guys are getting complacent in their spots. As soon as his spot was up for, he was going to be dropped, suddenly he started performing. I think that's also another problem with New Zealand cricket. They're causing a sense of complacency within the current guys at the top.
Yeah,
they need to have when the All Blacks back when we were actually really good and best in the world, we had your spot every single week was up for grabs.
Yeah, from
another guy coming through straight up behind you.
And like I understand. I understand that you don't want to create an environment where you have to feel like you have to perform every game.
Yeah, totally. You can have leniency,
but
you want consistency.
For like Martin Guptill, Henry Nichols, Ish Sodhi, a lot of these players for a long, even Ross Taylor at the end, had long periods of you weren't good enough. They needed to be shoulder tapped and say, look, you got to go back, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, look what it's done for Gutbill. He's been able to, I feel he's been a lot freer in his game.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wasn't performing at the top.
Yeah. And
his game was struggling for it. If he had been dropped back down earlier and been given that chance to perform in domestic cricket, being a lot freer. I mean, Will Young effect. Yeah. He got dropped. And he came back just as good, if not better.
Well, he didn't get dropped. He had surgery.
Oh, true. Fuck, that's why I was going to do research.
He 2019 World Cup warm up in Australia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'm talking post that.
Yeah.
When he did come back, he came back and then he was sort of out of the scene for a little bit. He went back to domestic, played a few domestic games, came back in better form because he got more game time. That's not as pressure driven under his belt.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I think Will Young has always been the talent. He just...
Yeah. I mean, all of them have got talent. They just need to be harnessed and unlocked. And unfortunately, if you're going to create either complacency or a high pressure situation, not everyone's going to perform. So you need to be able to let them build themselves back up to that level where they can perform under that high pressure. And if they're just constantly under high pressure and not performing, then something needs to be done. The confidence is going to be whacked. So bring them up, bring them back down, let them get their confidence up to bring them back up again. And then they can start performing under the high pressure. So I mean, everyone's different, but I think it's quite a crucial aspect in the game development side.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, Anyway, enough about Pakistan. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the IPL.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, please don't.
It apparently happens. From what I gathered, the first elimination game happened last night. And,
My Chennai Super Kings are still in.
Yep. And Simon Bai, they managed to win last night. But anyway, Devon Conway, as we've gone over, he's performing amazingly.
Stephen Conway.
Averaging 52 at the moment. Michael Bracewell, who I think he's out now.
Yeah, we played 1 or 2 games and then we played one.
He's played 5 games.
He played 5.
Yeah.
See, I don't watch because he's RCB,
He's
right?
gotten 58 runs, averaging 29. Strike rate of 123.
Oh, decent. I mean, you've got to look at strike rates too.
It's
For
the
T20.
6 wickets I like to see.
Yep, it's consistent.
Averaging 15.83 with economy of 8.63.
Oh, it's not bad considering the batsmen and the roads that they're playing on.
Yeah, could be better though.
Oh, totally. For an international
Could be better.
player.
I mean, we look at someone like Mitchell Santner, who
You're far away, mate.
3 games,
Yep.
2 runs,
Yep.
averaging 2 though. Strike rate of 50 though.
Yeah, so that's Paul with the bat. Please don't break my heart with the bowling stats.
I think it's more he's coming with the ball.
Well, he came with like 1 or 2 balls to go in like the 2 or 3 games he's played.
He's gotten 3 wickets.
What's his average? Come on, don't break my heart here.
27. So
what's his economy?
6.75. That's where it matters. That's where it matters for us.
Okay, yeah, you haven't broken my heart too much.
Really.
I'll keep my much stocks.
Lockie Ferguson, like I said earlier, he's there. Tim Southey, he's there also.
Yeah. Oh God, is he still having a bad run? So I followed him at the start of the IPL.
All right, so
I just stopped following him.
We'll go back. We'll be fair. Lockie Ferguson, 3 games, 1 wicket, averaging 96.
Oof.
Economy 12.52.
Yeah, nah, bro.
Yeah,
I don't think he's coming to the World Cup.
only played it after being pretty amazing in 2022. He only got a few games before they permanently dropped him for the rest of the season.
Pretty much. I would
At
do.
the start.
I would do.
Tim Southey, he's always sort of been, comes in every now and then. So he's had 2 games, 2 wickets, 39.5 average, economy of 13.16.
It's even worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why he
mate.
doesn't play
To me.
Ben Phillips.
He played 1 game, got dropped.
No,
he's played more.
He's played 5 games.
Fine. I don't know where I'm getting my information from. God.
He's been sort of in and out. First game he did keep.
I saw that.
Something that apparently he doesn't do for New
No,
Zealand.
he hates doing it though, he reckons. He said,
But I mean, when they pay you enough, you will do it.
exactly, but New Zealand
To
obviously
get
doesn't
a bit of
pay
game time, you'll do anything.
Totally. I mean, IPL, I would too. I mean, I love keeping. That's different.
Yeah, he's had 39 runs out of his 5 games he managed to play.
How many balls first? Do you know?
7. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a strike.
We can work it out. He's got a strike rate of 177.
How good?
Yeah, the only average is 7.8 though. So
How much?
7.8.
His batting average.
That's his batting average.
Oof.
Of those 39 runs.
I mean, T20, no one cares about averages. It's all strike rate, man. If you're hitting at 170.
If you get to those 7 runs and 2 balls, that's what matters.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly it. That's T20, especially when you're in the middle order. You need to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, you can have a 180 average, but your strike rate's at 20. You're going to be dropped.
Yeah.
But your strike rate 177 and your average is at 20. Who cares?
Okay.
You see the importance here?
Yeah.
Correlations, mate.
Yeah. He managed to get 1 wicket with his bowling.
Not bad.
Yeah. 20 average. And
Now that's an all-rounder.
Hold on. 6.66. Is his average?
6.66?
Yeah.
You won't say 666 because that's not right. 6.66 is fine.
Yeah.
Any
And
of you any theologists out there? I've got you.
Lovely Trenty. 10 games, 13 wickets, 24 average, economy 8.21.
Solid. We need him back for the World Cup, please.
And Finn Allen, he turns up.
Yeah, one of the best net batsmen in the world, I think.
Yep. 2 years running, has not played a single game in IPL.
Highest paid net batsman.
It's probably
Well, below Lee Pace, to be fair. He's pretty well underpaid.
But anyway, based on those two series of performances, we should probably get to a World Cup 11.
Yeah, far away. I saw your World Cup 11 earlier on today, and I couldn't disagree with anything there, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you hadn't put Mitch Santner in there, I would have had a bit of a hissy fit. Our greatest ODI captain in the history of New Zealand cricket. Caveat there being 10 plus games captained. He's captained 10, and he's 100% win record. Only New Zealand captain to ever go 100% 10 plus games. Caveat. How can you not like the guy?
Oh, I love the guy. He is
good. Going to be on the podcast.
He is the Dan Vittoria replacement I've needed in my life.
Oh, bro, totally. I think, and the funniest thing is when he first came into the squad, I was all Mitch Santner, he's the man. And my dad I think it was against England, a T20 against England. And my dad's, that guy can't play cricket, he's shit. Typical old bloody boomer. I don't think he's a boomer, actually, to be fair. And that game, I think he got a 3 for something incredible. He played absolutely great, and then he got 70 something with the bat. And it was like, I looked at my dad and I was like, "You still hate the guy?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I suppose he can play cricket." I'm like, "You don't say." And he's consistently performed.
Yeah.
From that, and I mean, he's such a crafty bowler. I mean, when I think it was against the Indian tour last year, I think it was. The overseas tour, the European tour. Our bowlers were struggling to get a couple of the guys out. He'd come in with some wacky ass delivery and get a crucial wicket and change the game. And we need someone like that, and that's like saying the Dan Vittoria replacement. He's not a spinner, but he's a bloody crafty bowler. Yeah, variations are key, man.
Yeah. So, as you said, you had a look at the list. You're going to wait till I've announced the shit all over it. But at the top we have, of course, as I've said, Conway Young.
Yep. Only
two preferred openers.
Yep.
In replacement of Williamson, if he doesn't decide to make it, it'll be Daryl Mitchell at number 3.
Yep, 100%.
This is all based on Williamson not turning up, by the way. Of course, if Williamson does turn up, I've got to move some batters around. But
no, I'd put him at 4 still. I want him at 3, not an ODI.
All right.
Anyway,
we'll let records inform decide otherwise. But anyway, at number 4,
I don't like records.
At number 4, even though
Too analog.
I don't like him there, I have a feeling he's going to be there anyway. It's Tom Latham.
Oh, I like him. I like him in ODIs.
I would have dropped him down.
Oh yeah, fair. I would have dropped him to 5. But who have you got at 5?
5 is Phillips replacing Nichols.
Yeah, definitely. See, that's where you got to have that dynamic
in all formats, might I add.
Yeah, and that's where you have that dynamic. You have the dynamic partnerships.
Yeah,
and Daryl Mitchell coming on the back of either Conway or Young, and then flying into Latham at 4 is crucial. And then having Phillips, because you got 2 solid, you're going to be left with 2 solid batsmen. One of them get out, you've still got a solid batsman there, and that's when Phillips comes in and just blasts it. Pinch hitter, solid with the bat. Yeah. Fair cool.
As my number 6, I've got Mark Chapman.
Solid.
Out of all the pinch hitters I had to pick from, him, Neesham, Ravindra, potentially, but he's probably more of a bowling all-rounder.
Yeah, he's a bowling all-rounder.
Finn Allen could probably take number 6 spot, I reckon.
At a risk, so that's one of the problems we've got to face, though. He never played at 6. Is he going to be okay again? And I touched on it at the start of the show. Is he going to be okay with the tail end batters, bowlers?
He's not there to really be with anyone. He's there to basically say see ball, hit ball.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's a lot harder to hit ball at the end than it is at the start.
Yeah.
In his mindset, because I have the same mindset when I bat. I see ball, I hit ball.
It is.
And I hit ball a lot easier when it's coming at me a lot quicker.
It is. But the form of see ball, hit ball, Mark Chapman, Jimmy Neesham, same position.
Yeah.
They're all see ball, hit ball.
Yeah, but I
Mark
still...
Chapman isn't the biggest guy, but he can hit a ball.
Yeah, but he's just that good.
I mean, you're expecting Phil Allen to be out there. You know, that is
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I wouldn't throw him in there for the World Cup, but at least at the UAE,
he's
try him out.
He's a potential to be there, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
don't think he would slot in as an opener unless either Conway or Will Young get injured or have a massive rut of form.
Yeah. You'd have him on the bench as a bench warmer for sure.
But as a way into that 11, that's where it would be. That number 6 position is very much contested by those 3 players for me. But at the moment, Mark Chapman wins it out.
Oh, totally. Yeah, by far.
At 7, we've got Bracewell.
Yeah, see, he's kind of a...
He's more of a hitter, which is why I put him in there.
He's a batting all-rounder.
You'd hope that our top order batsmen have done well enough that, you know, we're sort of relying on hitters.
Yeah.
In those positions first.
Yeah. But this thing, though, I feel we need someone more solid in that tail end role.
Well, that's where I've got the fluidity.
True.
So, of course, behind him we've got Santner.
Oh, there you go. Solid right there.
9, we've got Milne.
He's...
Out of him and Lockie Ferguson, do you want me to go back and read Lockie Ferguson's?
No, definitely. No, I'm saying I'm thinking in terms of batting prowess.
Number 9. Well, I'll tell you who's behind them: Matt Henry and Trent Boult. And good luck getting Trent Boult above 11.
Yeah, he's the greatest number 11 batsman ever in the history of cricket.
Yeah.
Am I not wrong? No, I'm not. No. He is.
If Tim Southey was on the side, I'd probably put Tim Southey at 9 and then Milne 10.
Southey in front of Milne batting.
Oh,
I don't like his batting.
I'd back Southey to hit it.
Yeah, fair call. Yeah, he's a hitter. I'd give him that.
Yeah.
In terms of,
I've seen Milne bat and he either sort of nurdles it around, or he gets out.
True. Yeah, that's what I mean. Fair. I mean, a lot of those tail enders though can perform.
Oh, I mean,
look at yourself. You're one of our best. Like, believe it or not, you're one of our best stroke makers in our team.
Yeah.
And I'm a number 11, and I'm like, no, you can go a lot higher in the order. Thank you.
I can, but no one puts me up there.
I do. You just refuse to do it. I let you open one week, and you're like, no.
I refuse to open, but I certainly don't refuse to move up.
But yeah, no, I mean, we're a lot of the tail end is very overlooked. I mean, Trent Boult. Let's leave that one right there. Milne, he's actually a really good stroke maker, stroke player, whatever you want to call it. He just hasn't been able to show that.
Yeah,
I mean, we gave you the opportunity. I think you came in at 4 in their last game of the season. You and Jim, mate, honestly, that was a partnership from heaven, mate. That was great to watch. You know, you were stroke playing Jim's absolute maniacal Trent Boult style batting.
Yeah.
It worked. I mean, he got his 50, his maiden 50 for Taniwha. Well done, Jim. But watching you from the other end, that stroke play with a hitter, mate, that was cricket. That's cricket. And I think we need to utilise that.
Yeah. Maybe for tests, but for an ODI and T20, I think by the time we get down to those guys,
I don't
really care. You know, the batsman's failed and we deserve to lose if we're relying on them.
We do need Neil Wagner's stroke play. I do align your stroke play to Neil Wagner's. Very Wagner-esque.
Okay. Anyway, because we need to round out to 15, I've got Tim Southey at 12.
Yep. Fair.
Like I said,
I wouldn't have him as 12th man. I'd have a very capable fielder at 12th man.
But you don't need to make them 12th man. These are just.
Oh yeah, but actually, but okay.
You know, anyone can run out there in the field.
I don't know. Johnny Rhodes, best 12th man in the world.
All right.
He's in everyone's all-time greatest. He's 12 man.
Yep.
John T. Rhodes. Crucial position.
Okay.
Moving on.
Anyway, like I said, he's only on the bench just because I think Matt Henry's performing better at the moment and deserves that first go.
Yeah, absolutely, and is more consistent.
Like we brought up, we've still got the tour of the UAE and tour of the England to go before the World Cup.
Yeah.
Where we will
find out a bit more, won't we?
Yeah, we'll see where form is. Because unfortunately, these Tim South, these Trent Bolts, Mitch Santners haven't been playing international, they've been playing IPL.
It's a different ballgame, really.
Different ballgame. They are playing
literally
international level teams in the sense that a lot of them are stacked.
Very, very talented squads.
So that does help their cases for, if they're performing decently in the IPL, that does help them get into this World Cup squad.
Yeah.
But it's certainly these lead-up games that are going to really cement who's opening, who's at that opening 11.
I think if we stick consistently to Conway and Young, then they can develop leading into the World Cup. And I think that's what we need to do as even top 4. We need to set that in stone before that tour and stick with it. Having that fluidity with the middle order is crucial too. So being able to shift them around where seeing fit. So you're not going to bring in Tom Latham when we need to score, 30 off 10 balls. You're going to bring in Mark Chapman. You're going to bring in Jimmy Neesham. Yeah, you're going to bring the hitters, Michael Bracewell. So to be able to have that fluidity is crucial in the middle order as well. We need to stick with that and follow that the whole way through so we can build up consistency for the World Cup. Yeah.
But being India, I did have to, unfortunately, against my better judgment, chuck Ish Sodhi into this.
Oh, yeah, that was one I didn't agree with.
I have put a / Rachin Ravindra.
Oh, please thank God for that.
There.
Oh,
but it's mainly down to how he performs in these World games.
Yeah, and I think that's why the UAE tour is going to be quite crucial, is to see who is in form and who's going to be able to perform. I mean, UAE's
the UAE tour is only T20s.
Yeah, but it's still enough to see who's.
It's enough for me to say if you perform well enough, you deserve a shot to go to England.
Yeah, well, yeah,
the ODIs are being played.
Yeah, fair.
And
it's kind of that continual development.
And then if you perform in England, then I'd say, look, you've sort of pushing the envelope to say, look, I should be in this World Cup squad.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's kind of that development to the World Cup.
So, like, Ish Sodhi's there because he's experienced. He has had experience of ripping through an Indian team in India.
Yep.
And, while he's more missed than hit recently, you couldn't have been a hit on a crucial game.
Yeah, I mean...
And whereas Ravindra, he hasn't been hit. He's been good. He's been okay.
Yeah.
But then he's also been bad, like Sodhi.
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying, thank God, is you've given us more spin option. And it obviously needs to be worked out within those tours, but I think having Phillips, Bracewell, Chapman... Oh, sorry, is Chapman spinner, right?
Yep, but...
Yeah. I'd rather have part-time spinners backed up behind Mitchell Santner than having someone who's average at best with a bat.
Yep.
That's hit and miss. I'd rather have a hit and miss part-timer than a hit and miss full-timer who can't bat.
Yeah.
So that's my logic there.
But jumping back to the whole Shetland New Zealand cricket, that's one thing I have hated. Daryl Mitchell came into the team as an all-rounder. He's basically been told, forget your bowling, mate. You're not doing that again. You're just batting for us from now on.
Yeah, and that's the problem. We need
losing a skill, like especially in those England games.
We needed him.
We needed some sort of backup bowler outside of the bowlers we had.
I mean, shit, look what England had to do there. England had to bring in Harry Brook to bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, he bowls a little bit faster than I do. Seam bowling.
Yeah.
But it's a bowler and it's consistent and it's solid.
It's different.
Yeah, very different. That's why we couldn't play him.
And like that. That's been probably one of my harshest criticisms of Kane Williamson. Like, he does know how to bowl a ball, and there's times where you could probably use him.
Many times.
Just chuck down a couple of overs to see what's going on, like I did with
That's it. Yeah, and it's one of my biggest gripes as well is he's refused to bowl. I mean, whatever his elbow's doing, I don't give a shit.
If his elbow was sore,
if it was sore,
then you don't bowl it.
What are you in the squad for?
There's points before his injury.
Exactly,
it wasn't happening, which is
And I mean,
was my gripe.
And I feel McCullum actually, when McCullum was captain, he utilised that perfectly.
Yep.
He made him bowl, but I think when he came captain, he kind of as a captain, you have a kind of a mentality like myself. I'm a niggly, slow medium, slow medium, like very slow medium, and you kind of tend to pull back because it's not your main skill, your main strength. So I never bowled until I sort of stepped back as captain in the last few games due to my back and not being sure if I could play the whole game. And Matt, he pushed me out to the top of the water and said, start swinging. And he also gave me the ball and said, you can bowl. And I was effective. I think I had an economy of about 3 every game with my bowling because it was different and it was unplayable. It's not your typical 100k medium seamer. It's extremely slow. I mean, to give myself credit, it's probably about 80 something k.
Yeah.
But the bounce, the pitch, the line, the length, it's different to what you'd normally get from your standard bowling lineup. And Harry Brook proved that in an international game. He's basically, I felt like I was watching myself.
Yeah.
And they couldn't play him because it's different. And we need to utilise that a lot more, a bit like what Brendan McCullum did. He utilised those guys. I mean, to be fair, Kane Williamson utilised Daryl Mitchell, Grant Elliott as well. You know, he was that niggly, different bowler.
Yeah.
He was nothing special, but he was niggly.
But
Jimmy Neesham, nothing special, niggly.
Yeah.
We need to utilise it a lot more. And yeah.
That's what I feel with Howard, like especially even with Mark Chapman, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We don't utilise him enough.
Mark Chapman came into the New Zealand side as a batsman who could bowl.
Yeah.
And they said, like with Darren Mitchell, they just said, don't bowl with the bowling, mate. We're not going to use you as a bowler.
And I'm glad they didn't do that with Bracewell either.
Yeah.
They've actually...
I mean, he came in as a bowler who could bat. He got into that New Zealand
that's
side
right,
because he picked up his spin bowling.
That's right, but the funniest thing is he's actually a batsman that can bowl.
Well, not anymore. He's now a bowler who can bat.
But that's what I mean. They kind of did the opposite with him and it's worked.
He's like...
and Ravindra is a batsman who can bowl, but they've utilised his bowling a lot more.
Like Jacob Oram, but in reverse. Jacob Oram came in as a bowler who could bat, and by the end of his career, it was a batter who could bowl. 14, we got Jimmy Neesham / Finn Allen.
Yeah,
they're fighting for a spot in that squad together.
Yeah, I'd personally take Finn Allen over Jimmy Neesham in an ODI. If it was a T20 World Cup, I'll be having Jimmy Neesham.
For me, the only issue is what happens if Chapman gets injured or has a rut, and what if either Bracewell or Santner gets into a rut? We need an all rounder, and he is a best all rounder that we have.
Yeah, I mean, you got to thinking about the all rounder side of things. I was just thinking on batting itself. I mean, I suppose you do need a Jimmy Neesham as a backup. You know, so
that's the hard part.
Yeah,
you know, we've only got 4 more spots to fill, and there's so many people. It feels like this World Cup team, there's just so many people that you're like, I need to have a backup for them because I can guarantee that something's going to go wrong with them.
Yeah, totally.
Like Adam Milne, he's been in and out with injury so often.
Yeah, I would.
So is Lockie Ferguson.
Oh, Lockie Ferguson's been worse, to be fair.
So it's like they both need to be in the squad just to back up each other.
Yeah. Do we have any fast bowling stocks in New Zealand cricket besides those two? Ben Sears?
Yep.
Jacob Duffy?
Not at the same level. And
I suppose, yeah. Ben Sears, though, is up there with pace. He's
up there with pace, but no one's at international level at that pace in New Zealand.
Yeah, I suppose. When you're talking international level, it's kind of a different ballgame, really.
None of them I would put out there to bowl against. Even the second-rate teams, I'd be like, I don't expect them to be as effective as what the other ones would.
Yeah, I suppose they do need a lot to work on their game. Very, very quick. I'm talking Ben Sears here, but he's had a taste of it. But watching Wellington, because I watched quite a few Wellington games, Ford Trophy and Plunket Shield. I've been along to a lot of them. Yeah, you're right. He hasn't got that international. He's not at that international level yet. And what's causing that?
I think really it's down to coaching. I mean, you look at New Zealand. You got Shane Jurgensen, who I'm like, who? You know, you look at batting. You've got
Luke Ronke.
Who wasn't even a good batsman when he was playing.
Hey, come on, mate. He's best number 7 in New Zealand history. Behind BJ Watling.
Okay.
He did score 170. He's got the highest score at number 7 in New Zealand history.
And one game against Sri Lanka at home.
Still the highest score
pretty much already beaten to hell by all the other guys in the team in the other games.
Still the highest score for number 7 in New Zealand cricket history.
Yeah. Anyway,
still takes a bit of talent.
He wasn't a batsman. Don't know why he's coaching batting. In fairness, neither was McMillan. He wasn't a batsman really. He was coaching batting.
True.
I think that's where we're going to miss. I mean, if they're not going to put Guptill in to any position, or if we got Ross Taylor, Martin Guptill, these guys were batsmen.
Who I'd love to see is batting coach when he's on this game, Williamson.
He's still playing, mate.
So, player coach, man.
He might go over there mentor, like I said.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If we're not taking him over as a player, take him over as a coach or mentor, as you'd say.
Yeah,
he needs to be.
He'll be over there as an inspirational speaker.
But he needs to be more than that. He needs to. He needs to coach the batting, and he needs to pick apart these guys' game, mate. I love watching him when he's on, man. Like his game is just perfect technique. He's Canterbury Academy through and through. But it helps.
Being a captain, he probably already does that.
He's keep doing it.
He'd certainly be involved with it.
But I'd say he needs to keep doing it on probably a more leader.
If he isn't playing, then yeah. But I don't think
that's what I mean. No, I don't think he's going to play.
I don't think that's going to be a thing, really.
That's what the reason why I kind of said I want him as batting coach, because I didn't think he was going to play. So take him over as a coach.
I don't think he's going to play. He's going to definitely be going over as a mentor role as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but I don't think outside of giving inspirational team talks to the guys.
Yeah, and he's good at
games, that. That's going to be.
I think one of the biggest losses is going to be his on-field presence, his on-field knowledge as well of how to change a game.
I mean, you're going to.
Mitchell Sanders just as good. No.
From what I've seen in a lot of international cricket recently, mainly brought on by England, you're going to see that like the players go out and get that many drinks in a game.
That's right.
That you're between the overs, you're getting the coaching staff telling the players what to do. Like they're not missing out on that coaching.
Yeah. I mean, every team kind of needs a cricketing brain like that. I mean, Australia's got Steve Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy. I thought I knew cricket, and I've made some decisions on the field. I don't place the field or anything, but I see the game as it goes and bring in the bowling attack and maybe change up the bowler's attack itself. And you need someone who, with that vision, who can see those sort of things that need to be changed on the field. And I feel Tom Latham's not the one for us, so we're missing his on-field presence. And Kane Williamson's that brain for us. Steve Smith for Australia. We need those guys, and they're crucial to change a game. But yeah, you're pretty much done with your.
Yeah, I mean that's my 15. Have you got any additions or changes or?
I don't have any additions or changes. I mean, I kind of addressed those during that.
Yeah.
I 99% agree with your thing there, and having the bracketed players, I'd agree with the latter side of those. So the sort of the second bracket rather than the first. So that's why I couldn't really. That's why I agree with your schedule there. But yeah, I think the UAE tour and the England tour is going to be huge for us in cementing a solid team.
Yeah.
And who's on form, who's not. Because I mean, we can sit here as couch critics and say, "Oh, these guys and these guys and these guys," but until we actually see it closer to the time, because form becomes a consistency thing. So yeah, they might have performed however many days, The gap between the last game we played and the start of the UAE tour is 101 days.
Yep.
It's a shitload. That's way too long for me to be without Blackcaps cricket. It's very depressing. But I mean, that 100 days, things can happen. So to be able to consistently bring them back up and develop them for the World Cup, we need that. These tours are going to be crucial for us, whether it's T20, whether it's Test, whether it's ODI. It's cricket, and form should flow through. So yeah. Wrap it up, eh?
Oh.
Wrap it up or not?
I mean, we still got to talk about UAE.
Okay, let's do it. If you can.
Tour of England. I mean,
Bring it on.
that tour of the UAE. I don't think really we need to be taking all of our team over.
No, you're right. But I still think in those crucial roles, we need to be taking the likes of Conway over to be able to develop an opening partnership with Will Young.
No, I don't know if you saw it.
What's that?
But neither of them are on my tour of the UAE.
No, I didn't see that. No.
Neither of them. Conway's played enough cricket. He needs a break after IPL.
Yeah, I suppose. But I mean, that's still a lot of.
And Young,
you're still a month before.
Like I said, it's only T20s, and I don't want Will Young in a T20 squad.
But the thing is, you got to look the long run. You don't want Will Young in any T20 squad, but if you want to build him up in an opening partnership with someone, you need him there.
He was playing county cricket last season, so I mean, hopefully he's got something like that going on.
Yeah, he's still playing counties over there at the moment.
Yeah, so that's he can just warm himself up there. But this tour of the UAE, I think that's really where a player like Finn Allen needs to be tested if he wants to be in that World Cup squad.
Yep, but it's T20. For someone like him, it's a different game.
He hasn't played at all.
True, good point.
You need to see if he's
I agree with that. Yep,
performing, and that's the most. Here you go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Games we can give him to try and get into that squad.
Yeah, fair, cool.
Number 2, out there pick, Martin Guptill.
Hell yeah.
Mainly because, one, it's same as Fennell, it's a sort of a, here you go.
Yeah, show us what you can do.
Try and win my way back into this World Cup squad, but also it's a chance for him to try and imprint onto Finn Allen what it takes to be a quality opener.
Yeah, and I think it kind of started that way, but when you notice when Guptill left, Finn Allen grumbled. I mean, he was, I think having that mentor in Guptill, that was very similar in terms of playing style when he was younger.
Guptill thrived under McCullum, where he had McCullum going for it.
Exactly.
I think people mislabelled Guptill as a hitter.
He's not. He was.
He needed the time to work into it.
He started as kind of a little bit like Finn Allen, I believe. Yeah. But he developed his game so much that he was that anchor to the hitter in the end. But you're right, having Finn Allen learn off Martin Guptill would be extremely crucial for his game. Yeah. I mean, because when Guptill left, Finn Allen did nothing. I mean, he got a 70, I think, or something. That was it. One performance out of how many? But when he was with Guptill, I mean, he got the ducks, but he wasn't afraid to swing, and he wasn't afraid to be himself. Yeah, and it showed in earlier on in the T20 career. But then when Guptill left and he was on his own, he was lost. Yeah, people wanted to change his game. He needed to play. Yeah, so be it. But he still needs to play without. I mean, you touched on it earlier about how he felt like he was too scared to hit a ball. When I played like that, I played like shit. But when Matt told me, just swing, bro, who cares? And I started performing. So Matt's kind of my Martin Guptill. Yeah, everyone needs it. So in that sort of style of batting, you need a solid, an old face to encourage you to be yourself and play how you play. But at the moment, I don't think Finn Allen's got that. So having Guptill in there is crucial.
Yeah. And I mean, no New Zealand cricket, he's not going to be there, so it's Chad Bowes opposite.
Yeah.
He is the next opener in line outside of...
No, I'd rather see Cleaver open than Jabos.
Yeah.
Cleaver open and keep.
Yeah, Probably not.
Unless he's
Anyway,
on cricket, so probably not.
Mark Chapman becomes the new number 3.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
Um,
Not liking that.
he does have the goods to be the replacement Williamson.
Mitchell not go.
No.
Okay, then we've kind of,
He's Payne County.
Oh, yeah, good point.
And
But that's the thing, though. See, when you've got...
I don't want to risk them being injured in a tour of the UAE.
Yeah.
I don't want them being over-travelled for a tour of the UAE.
Yeah, travelling will be a
It's
huge
a 5-day
one.
turnaround from the end of it
Yeah.
to the start of the...
And they're already in England, so leave them there.
Yeah.
What I think, though, you've got someone like Dane Cleaver.
Yeah,
who,
he's in the squad.
Yeah, but why isn't he at 3? He's an opener.
Because he's keeping.
So? Conway kept it open.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't really do well.
McCullum
doing it.
Initially at the
McCullum
start,
dropped
kept
it.
it open. He
was number 6
back
when he
issues.
shift.
True, good point. Yeah, no, fair. But I mean...
Well, I agree with the sentiment. They're professional athletes and they should be able to do it.
And it's T20, though.
It does.
I mean, Matt opens and keeps. I open and keep.
But once again, this is...
I'm not a good example because I get out pretty quickly.
That's Garden level and we...
Fair enough. But, I mean, you got to realise that it's... the keeper doesn't matter so much in T20. Where he is in the order. In ODI, maybe so.
Order not really. It comes down to it.
Test, absolutely.
He's number 5 for me anyway.
See, I'd have him a lot higher up because he is... he's got a lot of opening experience. And having him at 3, and he's a bloody solid batsman. He's... he'd be the anchor at 3. Especially if you're having Finn Allen at the top.
No, see, for me, number 3 has to be someone who can do both. Has to be someone who can either do the stroke play that's needed if someone's going off and the other guy gets out,
Dane Cleaver.
or it has to be someone who can just go.
Dane Cleaver.
I feel like Chapman does it better.
Chapman does the let's go better.
I think he does both better.
I don't feel he does the straight play better.
I don't know. If watching that Pakistan series, it was when he tried to go boom boom that he failed. Except for that last game where he pulled it off.
On the ODIs?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's ODI a different ballgame. I mean, the T20's in UAE, aren't they?
Huh?
The T20's in the UAE, aren't they?
Yeah, but
different ballgame.
But we're talking about... This is the tour of the UAE. A lot of these guys are people who are going to be coming up replacing the old guard.
Yeah,
I feel like with Williamson gone...
And Cleaver's like 30 something, so...
You know, you look at Mitchell, he's, only a few years younger than Williamson. You know, it's... Mark Chapman is going to be there longer.
Oh, he's the future of our middle order.
I feel like number 3, just to try it out. We've got Tom Bruce at 4, Cleaver at 5, Phillips, the Glenn one, at 6, Rutch and Ravindra at 7, Santner is a captain at 8.
You're the man. I'll keep you on.
Sodi's in there just because he needs a chance to try and show that he deserves.
How many does he need?
That's India, so unfortunately a lot.
True.
Same with Nasham. Nasham's in that team as well. He'll be there somewhere. Lockie Ferguson, because he needs a chance to show that he deserves a chance.
I mean, when you're having such a shocking run off the
assuming he's not injured. I don't know if he's injured at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're having a bad run off the back of like something like an IPL,
yeah, but
you need to...
He only played at the start. He's had a long break.
Right, good point. So hopefully his cricket's
didn't play
improved.
the other games with KKR.
I thought he just got dropped.
He did, but he still had to stay over there.
True. But yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right. He needs that chance to be able to prove himself again.
Yeah.
And he is of quality and class, but he needs to prove it.
We've got Josh Clarkson, Henry Shipley.
Good pick there. Shipley for T20, I believe it shouldn't be there.
Who else you got, bowling-wise?
Well, when you decide not to tackle...
Maybe Ben Sears. I might...
I'd give him a shot.
I'd probably agree maybe
to see how he's going. And then at least give him an opportunity to bring him into the mix. He might not be ready for the World Cup, but he's there. He's only going to improve. He's not going to improve sitting in Wellington or playing Plunkett Shield every every year. He's not going to improve. You need to bring them into the mix with different guys, different environment, different coaches to be able to be at that international level. He's young.
In fairness,
He's the future of our fast bowling.
In fairness, we do have a NZA tour of Australia.
And he's on it?
While the tour of England's going on. It hasn't been announced yet, but I'd assume he'd be in it.
And yeah, see, I mean, that would be good to have these guys coming over on both sides, both squads, being able to fill in for either or.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Young did it for the last one to Aussie. Was it the run coming out to Aussie?
Huh?
The last one was Aussie, right? Or was it? Oh, no, sorry, India, I think it was.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Bruce captain that one, as usual. He's the greatest, he's a main captain. The longest, I'm sure. Yeah, Will Young, I'm pretty sure Will Young went over with them. Yeah, because he wasn't playing for the Blackcaps. I mean, you see what it done to his game.
Yeah.
So bring these guys into that environment, bring them through as a feeder. Yeah. Sorry, wild tangent again.
Just to round it off, we got Tim Seifert and Cole McConkie.
Seifert's good.
Seifert's actually, I was surprised he's actually only 28. I thought he was like in his 30s.
Same.
Yeah, apparently,
Oh.
according to Cricket Info,
Yeah, I believe that.
the gospel of all things cricket, he's only 28.
Best
So
cricket website out there. And
he does have a few more years in him, and I think he's lucky enough to have had the experience
Yeah.
at international level. Like he didn't hit it off, but I think he has potential to.
I mean, he's solid. He's had a bad run. Went back to domestic cricket, improved his game, and he proved it coming back again. I mean, he was Sri Lanka tour, but he did bloody well. And you can't discredit his performances. I mean, he went absolutely bloody nuts and was scoring. I think he scored 80 something in that game in Queenstown. That was something incredible to watch. That was I think one of his best innings in recent history.
Yeah.
So I mean, give him a shot.
Out, really.
Oh, it was, but I mean, it's T20. It's T20 cricket. You take a chance.
Yeah.
And if you're good enough, those chances don't come. You know, if you're good enough, the chances happen, but they don't happen as often. And it proves it when you get 80 runs off every ball being like a 6 or a 4. I don't even know how many singles, bugger all, if any, in that innings. So, I mean, giving him a shot to be able to continue that run would be good, I think. It would be crucial because we could take him to the World Cup if he performs.
Yeah.
I'd happily have him in the World Cup squad if he performs over Jimmy Neesham. I mean, yeah, he's an opener, but shit, mate. I'm sure he can come in the middle order and start swinging.
I'll just throw that out there again.
Yeah. Seifert can keep as well as a backup. Just putting it out there.
I mean,
So can Fennell, just putting it out there.
there was a point where you almost convinced me to put Blundell in that squad, but then I realised that once again Conway and Phillips know how to keep.
Conway or Phillips won't keep an ODI.
Conway will keep.
I don't think he should keep an ODI.
I think
At a stretch T20.
If it came down, he had to. It would be Conway.
In my opinion, what lost us the T20 World Cup is Conway's keeping. One of the factors.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
He's not a keeper.
But
In domestic, he can get away with it, but he can't get away with it in international cricket.
then we jump back to your whole point of does it really matter where the keeper is?
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't.
In T20, I'd sort of argue
If he's good enough, it doesn't matter where he's at.
I'd argue as well that most of the hits that are going to get caught aren't going to keepers.
Well, I mean, you do get the chances, especially off spin.
You do, and you certainly
Especially off spin.
You do look back at it and go, if we had a better keeper in that position.
If we had Tom Latham there.
But I feel like
Tom Blundell.
really you'd lose out more by not having the better batsman.
Nah.
T20s, yeah.
Depends on where you're talking.
ODIs and tests, no, you lose out by not.
See, I think that's where we lost the trick with Dane Cleaver. You know, my Mitchell Santner and Dane Cleaver stocks are just through the roof at the moment. Well, he's capable of hitting the ball.
Yep.
And he's a bloody competent keeper. You know, Dane Cleaver I'm talking about. Why have we never used him in the shorter form of the game?
I mean, we have, but we only put him in non-important games.
Exactly, but we've never actually... Yeah, when he's 31.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for the last 10 years.
I know, but he also plays for CD, who once again don't really get a look in from selectors.
There's again, the problem with New Zealand cricket with camera. But I mean that's what I struggle with. We've got a guy there that can fulfil that good batsman, good keeper role in the short formats. But we've used Devon Conway as a keeper and left him out of the squad altogether.
Yeah.
I'd rather drop someone like Nisha, no disrespect to the guy, and have a solid batsman keeper than have a Devon Conway keeping.
Mm-hmm.
So I
the only issue I have with that is that we really hurt our bowling stock in T20s because.
But when you got 3 guys in the top 5 that can bowl,
Yep, but they won't hit the bowl,
which is dumb. There's another problem with New Zealand cricket.
Yeah,
we've got them there, but we don't utilise them. But we'll put Devon Conway as a keeper and leave out a keeper. Like, where's the logic in that? You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree that you should be playing the best players for each role.
Yeah,
in those roles.
Mm.
But
if you need to,
if it came down to, look, for T20s, do we need better keeper or the better batsman? It's the better
keeper if he can bat.
Yeah, but if you've got a guy who can keep,
but he can't keep.
He can.
We can in domestic. He's not international standard.
He was good enough.
Not good enough. See, I didn't think he was good enough.
Well, we clearly been watching the same tournaments. He did well enough.
No. Dropped too many crucial balls that cost us games.
No, I think those games were lost before.
No,
the bowling was off. That last T20 World Cup,
when you got
Trent
your
Boult did not look good.
No, he didn't. Daryl Mitchell was our saviour.
I don't think anyone really saved us in that tournament.
He's always our saviour. Opening the bats.
Finn Allen really should have been dropped after the third match. The year he got brilliant. It was brilliant against Australia, but shut the rest of it. He shouldn't really have kept opening.
Well, this thing, he was fresh and excited. Guptill at the other end, swinging. Let's go.
That was the anti-Guptill moment where they're like, we can't keep picking Guptill based on past performances, but they were like, he did one good score against Australia. We have to keep picking him in case he does it again.
Who's this?
Finn Allen. That was the mentality.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the Bangladesh game where he just went absolutely bloody nuts.
Yeah.
Guptill at the other end. Just play you. He got bowled in the first game. Clean bowled on a duck. Who cares? Yeah, Henry Nichols effect.
Anyway, like I said, based on the squad and the limitations of just having 15 players and the fact that we need so many backup players for this, what I feel like is our best 11 needs so much backup because it just feels weak this year.
Yeah.
Conway is your backup keeper. Whether you like it or not, there's no room for another specialist keeper.
Oh, you wouldn't have 2 specialist keepers, but who's your Latham going to be your first specialist?
Latham's your keeper.
Yeah.
He's your captain and your keeper. While he was great in the field in Pakistan, he there's just isn't the room to have him playing in the team and then chuck another guy in as keeper.
That's where I think having Tim Seifert would be crucial.
I don't think Tim Seifert's better than any other player
Keeper.
that I am for that 11.
Keeper.
Batting wise.
Oh, batting wise.
I don't.
If he can prove himself,
once again, Latham's good enough as a keeper that the only way to dislodge him.
I'm talking as a backup. So if Latham's out, bring Seifert as a straight replacement.
Like I was saying, there's not enough room to chuck backup keepers for specialists in this 15.
Yeah, but he's probably a lot better than some others.
Once again, I don't think there's enough room to chuck them in. Like if you do that, you're getting rid of either Anish Sodhi or Rachin Ravindra as a backup spinner.
You need a spin option.
You're getting rid of Jimmy Nation as a backup all-rounder position in case something happens.
That's the thing. You need a bowling option.
You drop in Lockie Ferguson, who what happens if Milne injures himself? Where's your
you need bowling options, but what are the batting options in your reserves?
None. That's the issue.
Oh, okay.
There isn't the bowling is so like Shoddy Rachin Ravindra are there for like proper turners as well. Like in a proper turner, you'd be dropping probably a Matt Henry to chuck in another spinner.
Well, that's right. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, fair call. There is no room for that extra. Yeah, you're right.
And the only other person
I think I've got what's that?
would be to be dropping Tim Southey, and I think
It's another bowling
he
style.
has some sort of blood pact with England cricket.
Of course,
Because
he
that's
does.
the only way he got captaincy of the Test squad.
Yeah, that dumbfounded me a bit. Hey, I would have just brought in Mitchell Stanton to the captain test squad. No, I wouldn't. That's a joke, by the way.
But I mean, personally, I think it was more the fact that Tim Southey was probably saying, "Hey, I might give up my contract as well." Unless I get something.
Yeah, I think now you mentioned that,
and I feel like
probably we need you. Please stay. You can be captain.
I feel like that was like, hey, don't drop a contract, please. We'll give you captaincy.
As good as a player he is,
because I feel you sort of watched that press conference, and I felt like Williamson didn't really want to give up the captaincy.
Of course he didn't. I don't know why he did, to be honest.
He was probably told that, hey, we Timmy's going to go. Can you please?
And
give
that's
it up
the
Timmy's
shit
days?
thing. He should have given up the white ball as captain. 100%. He's not a white ball captain. He's a test captain. He's a test batsman. He's a test mind. He's an absolute genius when it comes to the red ball. White ball,
Maybe
I wouldn't.
T20s.
I doubt him.
T20s he could have given up.
Oh, Mitchell Stanton needs to be a T20 captain.
I feel like I don't mind him as ODI captain.
I'm happy with Latham as ODI captain.
You look at it. They've got into World Cup final under McCullum. They got to World Cup final under him. Got to T20 World Cup finals two competitions running under Kane Williamson. Like he's got the goods to captain.
Oh, bro, he's one of the greatest cricketing minds in the world.
And I don't.
But when
while
it comes
he's not the best at T20 cricket, he's good enough, and I feel like his role is underappreciated.
Oh, totally.
Like that final against Australia.
Oh, he captain's not,
what was
mate.
it? The UAE.
Yeah. Absolute captain's not.
It was, and it showed that he didn't need to be striking it from ball one.
Yeah.
He worked himself in,
That's
and
right,
then
and
he
then he
took
went.
apart Mitchell Stark.
Oh, he did. Yeah, you're right, but I feel as like Mitchell Sander, for example, he's very progressive as a white ball captain.
Yep.
He plays differently. He sets his fields differently. He's very more attacking. With Williamson, especially on the field, very defensive, and he does allow the more attacking play. The more forward-thinking teams to take advantage of that. Latham's the same. So incredible test captains, both of them, Latham and Williamson. But when it comes to white ball, I feel we need a more of a out-the-box sort of thinker, someone like Brendan McCullum.
Yep.
Dan Vittori, just as that different thinker. They're more. They're not very. What do you call it? The classic cricketing thinker. Yeah. Kane Williamson, very classic cricketing, but extremely incredible cricketing brain. But he's not. I feel he's not as good in the shorter forms when it comes to more attacking and out the box thinking. Too safe.
I don't know. He knows attacking. I think
he knows attacking, but he's not.
Their issue is they fall back too quickly.
That's under
they're attacking,
Tom Latham.
They're attacking until
something goes wrong, and then you're out.
It starts going wrong, and then they're like, "Well, we have to fall back quickly to mitigate the going wrong." And it's like, well, yeah, but you're not really stopping the going wrong. You're just sort of slowing it down.
That's right. And what it is the AJS Patel effect.
Yeah,
when he was playing the shorter forms, was it AJS Patel? Might have been Ishodi, one of them anyway. The spin was getting tonked for an over. It took him out, stopped him playing. Oh, it was AJS Patel in the test.
Yep.
He was
Lords,
yeah.
Well, in fact, the whole tour of England.
Pretty much.
He
he bowled like what?
2 overs.
2 overs, and then got dropped because he was getting tonked. Yep. But if England proved with old Jack, what's his face? Jack Leach. If you persist, yeah, it's a little gap where he's going to get hit, but then he'll take them out.
Yep.
And I think that's where that whole defensive thinking needs to go, especially in the shorter formats. We need someone who's different, think out of the box. I mean, that's what was so Indians so successful in T20s, is because they can think outside the box. They attack outside the box. They play different things. They try different things. We don't.
Oh no, I wouldn't use India as an example.
That's probably a bad example.
Too much.
But I mean, they're capable of it.
Australia of old, certainly.
Oh,
they were always foot on the throat.
Yeah.
Sort of playing.
I mean, England Test cricket now, if they played T20s, they'd be just as good. I mean, they do. Actually, to be fair,
England's pretty good at the short format. It's just that the short format players are buggering off.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, England, foot on the throat.
Yeah.
And if it's not working, they'll try something different.
Yeah.
They're not going to pull back to their old ways. And I think that's where I'm getting to with the whole Kane Williams is not suitable as our, especially T20 captain.
Yeah.
And neither is Tom Latham.
No, Tom Latham, certainly not.
ODI, maybe. Yeah, a little bit. He's very good. I rate him as a test captain, Tom Latham.
I think he needs a bit. He certainly needs Williamson to be around a bit longer.
Yep.
T20s, I certainly think we need a younger mind.
Yep.
And a more fresher team, really.
Yep.
Going into it.
Would that younger mind be Mitchell Santner?
He'd be there in the interim, I think. Someone like a Phillips, or even a Finn Allen, sort of needs to start being groomed.
We need to, and you pointed out quite perfectly there, is we need to groom a new captain, because currently our only captain material, big finger quotes, air quotes, is Mitchell Santner. He's our only young captain. He's not young anymore.
No,
he's late 20s.
No, he's in the 30s.
God, is he 30 now?
Pretty sure.
Oh shit, man! That's how out of touch I am with ages. But I mean, we need to be grooming them, because all of our captains that are captain material are could literally retire next year. Yep. We need to be grooming them. I mean, I'm a captain. I'm 32, 33 next week. Gosh, shit, I'm old. Oh wait, no, I'm 31. I'll be 32 next week. That's how old I am. I don't even remember my own birthday. Having young guys coming through to be able to take over, be mentored by these guys for years, for maybe 2-3 years. If they show the right qualities, mate, just throw them in there. Yeah, but we don't have that.
That is 31.
Oh, same age. What's his birthday?
Oh, mate. Putting on the stadium profile?
Please. If it's available.
Oh, no, it's not letting me select it.
No, that's all right. Yeah, I mean...
There we go. 5th of Feb, mate, 1992.
Oh.
31 years, 109 days.
Bit younger than me.
Yeah.
Not much. A couple 100 days.
Oh,
100 days. Hey?
Oh, no, he's only just turned 31.
Yeah. I mean, who else in New Zealand cricket who's under 26 is capable of being captain?
Well, that's the thing.
Who's got captaincy?
I was thinking about it the other day, and it's something like captaincy. It is, you've either got it or you don't.
Exactly.
You can pretend you can teach it.
Oh, you can't.
But a lot of it's just a natural thing.
Yep. And what do you look for in a captain of an international side, or any side for that fact?
I mean, mainly lets me bowl, but
when you're not playing,
yeah.
Like, what are the leadership qualities in a cricketing captain?
Cricketing captain, really, for me, it's just someone who uses their resources. Like, it's a team. Cricket's always described as a team of individuals, you know, and it can be individual performances on the day that win it for you, but it's still a team environment. So the captain, should be someone who can communicate well, and someone who's not afraid to make hard choices when it comes to selecting who bats, who bowls, and who is playing, who isn't playing.
Yep.
And when they do select them, they use them properly. I feel like Williamson only really fails at that last one, and only really in the spin department.
I agree. Or in bowling department in general.
No, he's pretty good. Pretty good with the pace attack.
He's got a very good pace leadership. That's why.
Once again, that's the issue with New Zealand. We're so entrenched on either you're a pace bowler or you're just bowling, dilly spinny balls to just be slow off the surface and get whacked in the air.
Besides Mitchell Santner, out of our spin bowlers, none of them are in leadership. So you see why our pace gets so well utilised, because the pace bowlers are all the leadership. Tim Southey, Trent Bolt.
Wouldn't even say it's that. I wouldn't say Trent Bolt's like leadership.
Well, he's a senior member of the Blackcaps.
Yeah, that's because he's played a while.
No, but his opinion's respected within the leadership group.
His opinion is respected because he's good at what he does.
Exactly. So what I'm saying there is that they're biasing their selections towards that. The reason why we don't play spin is because we haven't got someone like Daniel Vittori.
I mean, he was captain and he was given a long run at the game from a young age.
Exactly.
So because we're talking about different situations.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he was captain, so he could utilise himself better.
Yeah, of course.
Kane Williamson's captain. He doesn't bowl.
Most captains don't. But
no, but what I'm saying is his leaderships are the ones that are being utilised because they're pushing themselves in, essentially over.
No,
and it's an influential, I guess, selection and utilisation.
As Mark Richardson incorrectly put it, he seemed to think.
Did he put anything correctly?
No, but he still voices his opinion.
Love it.
And he reckoned that Williamson didn't bowl spinners because he's such a good player of spin. He doesn't see them as a wicket-taking option. And I'm like, well, no.
What?
It's incredibly stupid to think that someone who's that smart at cricket would go, oh no, I play spin as well, so therefore everyone will be playing spin as well. It's not
yeah.
I think it's down to the fact that we don't have the quality spinners of other teams.
Oh, totally. We don't have that.
We don't produce them.
But we have
and
something close to that, but don't utilise it enough.
Ajaz is good.
Oh, he's a good example.
Unfortunately, because he doesn't get the chance, we don't get to see if he actually knows how to come back from being hit.
And that's it.
I mean, I look at that Pakistan series. I mean, Bracewell showed that he should be in that Test squad.
Oh, totally.
As a constant sort of backup spinner, which is lucky because that's what New Zealand really needed. But
yeah, we've got a couple of good ones. Glenn Phillips,
Sodhi and Ajaz.
Well, they're full-time spinners.
They didn't seem to come back when it was Rhodes, and they were getting hit. That was the detriment to Ajaz. When he was given that chance, he didn't take it. It was the only chance he's been given.
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't prove that he could.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing wrong with New Zealand cricket. We need to develop that. We need to develop captains that can do that. And
it's not captains. That's down to the bowler. Being able to come back after being.
Oh, totally. But we need to give the captains need to give them chances to be able to come back from them.
Yeah. But the thing is that in New Zealand conditions, it's very hard to justify it. I agree. It's very hard to justify keep bowling the spinner on a dead pitch.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean,
you're reliant on them day 5 because you sort of get some
breakup
right. Of the pitch.
Yep.
But if they start getting hit around on day 1, day 2,
and
they're not going to do much better.
Yeah, and it comes back to your comments about maybe creating some pitches that can help us grow spin. I mean, it doesn't have to be every ground, it doesn't have to be every game. I mean, we might have a block where half of it's bloody Padamahawi clay or whatever we call it nowadays, and the other half some Indian bloody topsoil that dries out.
You can't be doing that much doctoring. You need to be fair.
Not about doctoring it, but I mean having some variation in the pitch.
Half is variation. You need the whole pitch to be like that. But no, you're right. But the trouble is,
having an option.
It will take one of the domestic sides to say, hey, I'm willing to be shit at home
And
to help out the rest of New Zealand.
yeah, and let's face it, it's not going to be Canterbury or Auckland or Northern Districts.
Well, Auckland, the parental drop-in pitches are.
Well, they don't have any pitches anyway, do they? Because they can't actually decide on what ground they want to use.
Central districts, you only really got
Pukura Park.
You can't afford to be bow and spin and getting hit around.
Or McLean Park, where you can't play between 7 and 8 o'clock at night.
Was it Fitzherbert?
Oh, Fitzherbert. Yeah. But I mean, that's the things. I mean, Wellington's only got the Basin Reserve.
Basin Reserve.
Basin Reserve is like the home of cricket in New Zealand. I don't give a shit what anyone else says. Yeah. Basin Reserve is the home, and I think we need to stand up. Our spin bowling stock's pretty young, husband, mate. Rutcher and Vindra. Name off a few more. We've got some solid. I mean, they're grafters, man. They're solid spin bowlers. Why don't we utilise it? Every team's going to come down in Wellington, and we're going to win. Yeah, pitch doctoring, but it's also preparing these guys for India and for Pakistan. Oh, not actually Pakistan, for India and
preparing for India.
Yeah. I mean, and that's where we play a lot of our games. It'll get them in the IPL. If we bring more spin bowling through Wellington, it's going to put us in a much better position than any other province in New Zealand.
They will. But, yeah, that's just. I don't see it as something that in any sort of domestic scene in New Zealand's willing to do.
Yeah,
I think until we sort of go, hey, we're going to start producing pitches that are less fairer to seam, more fairer to spin.
I think it's either got to be us or Northern Districts, to be fair.
Yeah,
because we're the only ones that can do it. I mean, let's face it, Healy's not going to do it. They've got the fast bowling mafia.
To make it a fair pitch, you sort of need. You kind of need to be Auckland or Northern, just because you need some sort of environment where they can actually bake out the pitch.
Yeah, true.
You're not going to get that in Wellington, really.
Hey, good point. It's possible. I mean,
not often enough.
With technology now, we invest enough in it anyway. I should wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm getting fucking tired. Sleeping o'clock. Holy shit. Cool. So thanks for watching, listening, however you indulge in our content. Leave a comment down below if you'd like us to cover a topic next podcast. We're not sure whether it's going to be next week or the next month. At the moment, I'm trying to get every month. There's quite a lot to talk about, especially in the off season. But once the World Cup, maybe we could do a short series. Following the World Cup, maybe we do once a week, or do the old daily agenda style, and maybe I'll pop on every day and give my 5 cents worth. If you want us to cover a topic, let us know, whether your club's doing something, whether your domestic team's doing something. I know it's winter at the moment. I mean, we do so much over the winter. We're pre-season training at the moment. We're doing the pre-season diaries, things like that. If your club's doing something different over winter, let us know, and we'll happily cover that for you guys. We're about covering cricketing content on all levels. Like, subscribe, all the other stuff to get us seen, get us a bit of exposure. Don't be shy and not comment, because we won't get seen then. Cheers. Thank you.